I wish I could say...
start it, man.
I wish
Fucking
I could say,
start
I wish
it.
I could say happy Monday, but California's on fire. We know some people. So...
Weird.
I know, but you know what bothers me about being a dude is situations where I can't be of any help.
You can be help. Volunteer.
Yeah.
Take time and volunteer. Donate money.
I'm shooting all day.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And if
So
I would
shit.
donate, yes, I do donate money, and I will donate money, and I will continue to donate money. The problem is
More than
I'm not
$50.
donating to fucking the United Way or the International Red Cross, which is who's out there right now.
No.
And
you can donate to the firefighters direct.
And
Los Angeles
LACountyAnimals.com, which is taking care of animals, which I think is a good idea. Problem is that most of that money goes to running the organization. So
No, you can donate directly to, because I did yesterday.
I'm going to drive out there.
You're not going to do shit. But you can donate directly to it. It's like LAFireDepartment.com or something. You can donate straight to them.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
But remember that one time you donated $50 to that old lady who went homeless?
I got her house back.
$50.
I like to believe that
I had to do something else.
I like to believe I was the straw that the one straw that I took off the camel's back.
Got her over the hump?
And the camel its back didn't break. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what it was.
There's all sorts of things you can do to donate. Why don't you say, forget your show and just start working as a...
What?
Help, dude.
If I was a real man and I wasn't trying to pay off my way too expensive house, I would give an episode of but I give enough money. I give a lot of money actually every year. So, okay. Fuck that. I'm not saying that's not the reason I brought this up. The point is I don't like feeling helpless, really trying to stop wildfires. A little bit difficult. Not my expertise.
Can I look at the glass half full right now?
Please do.
At least it was Malibu, where the average income is very high. True. So those people aren't as screwed as if it were to happen in,
they can afford hotels,
South Central or a different area.
Yes.
Like they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But I'm saying that it's not going to be as bad if it were to happen in a lower income area.
Yeah. But
like Calabasas, I didn't feel bad for Kim Kardashian when she was like, we're so scared, we're getting out. I'm like, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
She's like, this is so horrible. It's 2 a.m. We're headed to the Beverly Hills house. Oh. Did you see her?
No. Oh. No, I didn't see that.
Her big ass titties. Oh.
Is that what she did?
Yeah, and she went, oh, we'll get home safe, girl.
Get home safe.
Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Taxi cab confessions.
Let me hose your house down.
Just jump in this purple Porsche.
My friend's up there. My friend's up there, and he, Bob Mariel, you met at the airport. Remember Bob, the guy with the fucked up ankle?
Oh yeah.
We call him the strongest man in the world. He's like Jack Armstrong, All-American. Yeah. And he is up there. He's not leaving.
He lives up there?
Yep. He lives on the top of the hill, and there are fires. He goes, Brian, the flames were 100 feet high. And he said he's up there filling with his bad ankle. He filled his roof. He's got a part of his roof is flat. Filled it with water. Filled his roof up with water.
So nothing.
Watering down the entire perimeter.
Wow.
And doing whatever he can. And apparently Laird Hamilton is doing the same thing.
They usually say it's a bad idea. The people are like, nah, we'll beat this.
Why? Because it surrounds you and you die? Yeah.
Well, it's too late. We're like, there's fire everywhere. Let's leave now. Nope, wrong.
Yeah.
Same people are like, Category 5 hurricane? Nah, it's not going to fuck up my house.
Look at that shit.
Dude, no, I saw a picture on 9 News. It's one of the planes dropping off that red or water, and it's right behind a house. It's a good picture. It's fucking ridiculous. It shows you how amazing these pilots are. Yeah. I mean, it's so close to this house, and it's like straight up dumping water on this house.
Yeah, and that red stuff, I think it covers like 80 football fields or something, which apparently isn't enough.
Well, they try. 80 football fields, yeah.
Something crazy. Look at that shit.
And they were talking too how people are like, you're missing the fire. That's not what that red stuff is.
What is it?
It's to prevent the fire from moving forward. That's why they're doing it outside the fire. Gotcha. In the fire, they put water. Outside the fire, they put this red dye shit.
Oh, okay. And what is that?
You remember in elementary?
What is that red shit?
We were in elementary when you'd throw up on the carpet, and then the weird janitor would come in and put all the fucking red stuff. That's
the serial killer janitor?
That's what it is.
It is?
No.
All right. You never know. Brian. Maybe it's throw up. Is that red fire trying to drop in planes safe? Probably.
I'll tell you what, though, the air quality ain't good right now.
The tanker drops.
Retardant.
Yeah. It's probably pretty toxic, but it's better than
fire. Burning.
You know what's super toxic? Fire. You know what's super bad for your lungs? Fire.
All organic, though, bro.
It is all organic, but you know what burns in this world? Everything.
Especially
including
cars.
rock. Well, rock melts.
Especially cars.
Yeah. What does it say?
Won't hurt you. Here's what's in it. Kool-Aid. Tell you what, it feels like a fire's on in the studio. It's hot as shit.
Yeah, I give off heat, dude, because I'm fired up right now. I'm a little fired up about all the shit that's going on.
Who do we have on the show today? Are they friends of yours, B? Or no?
Who?
The guests coming on the show.
Yeah, the guests we have coming on the show are Mo Mandel, very funny comic, and his lovely wife, who happens to be a dick doctor. She's a urologist.
Can we call her a dick expert?
She does surgery on penises and things like that. And the first question I'm going to ask her is it possible to make my dick smaller? Because this thing is a pain in the ass to carry around.
I'm going to show her mine and go, what do you think?
Well, and I think
as soon as she comes in, I'm going to tell her husband, shut your mouth, unzip my pants, go. I'm just going to go like this.
She's seen dicks. Did I ever tell you the story about me and deciding in college that I had
a small penis?
Nope. I decided I'd read a thing about funguses on dicks. One day, the side of my dick started itching, and I went, I clearly have a fungus on my dick.
Or herpes.
I will now take a brush to it. And this is, when I think back about what a moron I was, I'm so fucking appalled. I would scrub my dick. Finally, I went to the doctor because the side of my dick was purple. It was all purple.
From rubbing or just...
This is what the doctor kept saying when he was looking at my dick. I'm not kidding. I'm going to tell her. He kept going. He goes, what? I go, I have a fungus. And he looks at me. He goes, I don't think that's a fungus. What are you doing? And I go, I'm scrubbing it. He goes, really? I go, yeah. He goes, and how long have you been doing this? I go, I don't know, like a month. He goes, really? Because he goes, and that's what you're doing? I said, yeah. He goes, and that's what happened to it? I go, yeah. He goes, really? And he looked at it again. And he looked at it again. He goes, you don't have anything going on. You've been rubbing this thing. I go, what? Why'd you do that? I go, I felt I had a fungus. He goes, do you know what a fungus looks like? Why would you have a fungus on your dick? Do you even know what? No, but I read a thing. He goes, don't read things.
Why'd you think you had a fungus?
I read a thing about it, so I got paranoid.
You're that way now.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, oh.
By rubbing, do you mean jacking off relentlessly?
My buddy died of pancreatic cancer, right? Rare thing. For the next 2 months, I was like, well, I have pancreatic. I kept having psychosomatic pains.
You have a weird thing with health.
I went to the same doctor, and he looks at me, he goes, are you here because of your friend Sam? I went, well, I have. He goes, you don't have.
He goes, get out.
Get out. Get out of my fucking office.
No dick prompts here. Not yet, anyways.
What was that thing then? What was
Ask her about the size of your balls.
I was just rubbing it down. That's probably why I have so much testosterone and so much fucking energy.
Ask her about the size of your balls.
I'm going to ask her why my cock looks like the end of my index finger and it just sits dead with a drip, and why my balls are so huge.
I don't know where we go with this lady.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out about dicks.
Yeah. It's all we talk about, Brendan. You know, isn't it?
Not,
and I know you have a lot of questions about it.
I really don't. I kind of...
Well, because you're not imaginative.
Oh, you're a dick expert? Me too. I've had one since I was, born.
But you're not imaginative. I have a lot of questions, and you're going to be privy to those questions. It's going to be good.
It should be good.
I've never been to I have been to a urologist. That was another time. I
went to one with Klopp. Remember the time I told you he broke his dick?
Yes.
I went to one with him.
I
thought we were a gay couple.
You are. I thought I had testicular cancer.
God,
because my
you're
ball
such
hurt.
A pussy.
My ball hurt. I went to the doctor. The doctor said, your testicles are normal.
Standard.
I said, why did they hurt? And he goes, what are you doing? I said, nothing. And he goes, there is something you're probably doing. What are you doing? I said, well, then I thought about it. I go, well, yes. I read that you're supposed to flush your lymphatic system by jumping on a trampoline. So I was jumping on a trampoline. I went and bought myself a little tramp.
That's embarrassing.
I know. And my balls took a little
You're
beating.
a weird kid, dude, man. Yeah. You're weird.
I'm a little weird, right?
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah. So I'm just...
Very weird.
I tell all these stories. Fucking woman comes up to me, yoga teacher who listens to our podcast with a very strong British accent. Very
Stretch
pretty.
These nuts in your mouth.
She comes up and goes, how's your psoriasis? I go, how do you know I have psoriasis? Because I listen to every single episode of yours and Joe Rogan's. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. And I like that. I like walking up. Guys are like, the psoriasis kid. I'm like, hey, 20-year-old.
Or big gay owl.
I get that. How about at your show? I'm up on stage. Big gay owl. You gay owl. I'm like, all right. Who?
You start going,
who? I fucked you
up. How about the one guy? I forget where I was at. Big gay eagle. Whoa. It's owl, bro. Don't fucking eagle him like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love eagles,
You
man.
corrected him. I'm a wise owl. I'm a wise gay owl.
Dude, the fires are up in Northern Cali are way worse than Southern Cali. Now I got to go to Sacramento Friday and Saturday. Chin, can you find out how close
You're right,
Sacramento is
buddy.
to the fires?
I had a shitty.
Do we have to
shitty-
cancel that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
Kat
so.
says no. They're not close.
I had
It's
a
far
shit-
away enough.
You're from Northern Cali, yeah? Mm-hmm. Is it, how far away is it? 'Cause
It's closer to San Francisco.
so Sacramento is a distance away from.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Because the fires are in what town? It
I
burned an
believe
entire
Roseville?
town down. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, paradise.
Entire town got
Paradise.
It's
called Paradise.
300 people are missing.
I know it's awful. 300 people.
300.
For real?
Yeah, I think it's 200.
Oh my god. It's so
So
terrible. I
it-
had such a shitty day. We because I used to
What's
perform at the
county?
Borderline. I told you the Borderline Grill. I
the
performed
where
there
the
3
shootings
times.
happened?
Yeah, I used to stand up there because my friend Jason used to promote a show there, and I loved it there. I had such a great show there one time, and people are great. It's a great bar. I'm going to do a benefit if I can with my friend.
I'll do it with
AJ.
you.
Okay, great. Let's do
Stand
some
up?
stand up. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's
Is
do
that
some
place shut
stand-up.
down or no?
I don't think so, but let's do a benefit.
100%, brother.
Yeah, let's do it.
100%.
Let's do it.
We'll get our crew and do
Fuck
that.
yeah,
100%.
I'd love to do that. Let's get.
It's
some
an hour and
hitters.
34 away.
Hour 34, hour 54.
Okay. Should be all right.
You're fine, buddy.
Yeah, maybe they want to escape.
I had that issue when after 9/11, I was performing. I had a show, and I was like, I didn't feel like performing, and then I just got up on stage, and I was like, I'm
This is
going to
what
be
they
funny
need.
tonight. I'm going to be funny. I'm not letting those assholes.
You know, it's
stop me
weird.
from being
Last
funny.
night I was watching the People's Choice Awards on E,
Yeah.
and they were accepting these awards. I thought, as much of a narcissist and psycho that I am, I couldn't do that right now. With everything going on in
Yeah.
California, like getting up, being like, the art is, I do this for you. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Literally, people right up the road are losing
You feel a
their
little
homes.
guilty, right?
No, I'm just like, what are you guys? It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you maybe reschedule. Like now's not the time to accept Melissa McCarthy accept an award
Yeah.
for her body of work as a comedic actor.
Sure.
Like,
Well, it's like a 9/11.
and then everyone does the thoughts and prayers are with our firefighters. All right, donate money. That does nothing. Donate money, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Do
You're 100%.
something.
You're 100% right. What are you physically doing?
Yeah, it was a little. I just felt I stopped watching. I'm like, God, this is lame.
Yeah.
Now's not the time.
That's always been my problem with Hollywood a little bit.
But they help out a lot too.
Yeah,
Like
they
encourage,
do.
like obviously this is one of the biggest the midterms with the voting. Like Hollywood has
My issue
a lot
with
of people because a
Hollywood-
lot of people with Hollywood like they can paint a narrative and like with their followers and you look at a lot of influential people like they can get people to do some shit, man.
But here's my problem with Hollywood. It's a super short attention span. So for one Oscars, it was gender reassignment surgery. And being transgender was something that was celebrated, and we're behind you and stuff. Then it's Oscars too white, and now it's like we're
Me
obviously
Too
too
movement?
racist. Then
Me
it's
Too
the-
movement
then it's
stopped.
then it's the Me Too movement.
kinda stuck
But
around.
it's super. Then it was before that was global warming, and everybody's making speeches. So they tend to go from issue to issue, but it's a very short attention span. Then we kind of move on.
Yeah, they go through seasons.
Yeah, and it's like
Remember Leonardo DiCaprio got up, accepted his Oscar for the first time, and talked about global warming.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from Leonardo on global warming?
I guess
mean, he
he's-
might behind the scenes be doing a shitload of stuff we don't know about.
he's not cooling the planet, but I appreciate that
He might be.
He's passionate about it. But
Maybe he's
also-
donating I think he's donating a shitload of money. and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm sure he's very
But
serious.
Hollywood
about his
can
intent.
paint a narrative and get some shit done when they want to.
Yeah,
Big time.
yeah.
Big time.
They can write stories about it that move people. You know what's
But
that? What's that?
just what they're following though, like
So what book did Harriet Beecher Stowe? A little trivia for everybody. Harriet Beecher Stowe.
what's the question?
I'm going to tell you about how art can change the world. Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote a book called Uncle Tom's
Neighbor.
Cabin. Good. That's okay. There's no reason for you to know. it.
I'm not a rip reader. I'm not. I was going off your lip. I knew it was cabin. I'm not a lip reader.
Try it again, and then just like it's your idea. So Harriet Beecher Stowe
Yes, Harriet
wrote that
Beecher's
book called
Uncle
Tom's Cabin. Right, so you know. And so it was essentially a book about it put a human face on slavery, on black suffering.
Django
and
did
stuff
it better,
like
but
that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, no, Harriet Beecher Stowe did it way back in the 1800s. I think 18 something. Either way, what President Lincoln said when he met her was something like, "You're the little woman that wrote that little book that started this huge war, or started this great war."
The civil rights.
Because the Civil War, she galvanized public opinion around that book in the North to realize that slavery was a fundamental
But now, don't you
evil.
think it's tougher because there's so much content? It's hard for people to find out what's bullshit, what's real. There's this show, there's that show, there's this narrative. Like, it's tough to.
Right, but what the book
latch
itself
on
created enough momentum in certain states where they said,
for sure.
no slavery here, right?
For sure, especially at the time.
Yeah, I'm
If
saying
if you
to
write
your
that
point,
movie now, it'd be
right?
tough.
But to your point, art, good movies, good books, artistic expression can really change public opinion. It can make
sure.
Will and Grace. Will and Grace is considered one of the beginning, sort of a big
Was he
factor
the first
in
gay-
rights. Well, oh, look at this! Come on in, Mo Mandel. I think
Hey,
he
how you
brought us a
doing?
gift.
Sorry, the parking was weird.
Yeah, they. It's like I don't know what's going on with it.
This is
Come bearing gifts. I found with a girlfriend who's in the bathroom.
What's up, man? How you doing,
up?
brother?
How you doing?
How you doing? Good to see you, man.
Did you guys don't know each other?
I know.
I've seen him around the comedy store.
Yeah, but
Mo
we've never like
Mandel's a
officially.
very funny man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, bro?
Good, brother. How are you?
You got big hairy
Big.
forms.
A lot of hair.
Women
Yeah,
like
you're
that
hairy,
too.
dude.
You're just a
Do they?
big-
You're hairy.
Yeah. I was talking to Theo Vaughn the other day about I was complaining because I spent $2,000 on back hair removal.
2,000. We got to talk about this
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Are we
Well,
not on
he's
the
on the
podcast right
podcast.
now?
Oh, we're on now.
It's airing. Yeah.
So you
We're on.
you
Okay,
spent
good.
$2,000 on back hair removal?
Laser back hair removal, and
How hairy
How
was
hairy
your
are we
back?
talking? Yeah, what were we talking about?
it was not good. You know, I had been in a relationship for 5 years, so I didn't realize it was bad to have back hair because, you know, when someone loves you, they don't care.
Yeah.
And then when you're out with these just regular girls on Tinder, they'll let you know, like, this is
Just
a problem.
shit all-
Yeah, this is a problem.
They'll let you know.
Yeah. Like, and I
But
would
some
have.
women like it, don't they?
You know, I'd
say
I
no.
think that's the thing. Hairy guys, it's like guys who are uncircumcised have the thing of like, women love a good foreskin. And then you
it's
talk to
not
them, they're
true.
like, nope, we're good on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I spent $2,000. That's my 16th session. I was like, still not really working. They're like, yeah, you might just not be a candidate for this. And then I told Theo Vaughn, he goes, man, Jewish back hair is like climate change. I mean, that's just going to happen. just classic Theoism where you're like, it's kind of retarded, but kind of brilliant.
But it works.
At the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why that works.
He used to have that joke where he'd just go, Jews are clogging up the internet.
Not
again."
only does he have that joke, I remember being on a TV show with him called Reality Bites back in 2008, and I was just getting to know him. And
What was the show about?
It was a bunch of unknown comics: Amy Schumer, Tiffany Haddish, me,
heard of
Theo, Bert Kreischer. A bunch of people who are no longer in the business.
Yeah, right.
And it was basically right when the writer's strike happened and Comedy Central, basically, we just need something to put on. And so it was like, let's just take a bunch of comedians and put them in crazy situations.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. And then I remember, you know, it's when you're just starting out comedy, you're always trying out jokes on your friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Theo just goes to me, all right, man, what do you think of this joke? Jews are clogging up the internet. And I was like, so it's a setup, right? Is there going to be a punchline coming, or we're just, oh, that's the joke. Oh, that's it.
By the way, it works.
It works great.
Only Theo could pull that off.
And how do you sit
He ends
there?
with something like that now, which is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, it's a great. I know which one you're talking about.
But how do you write that and know you've written a joke? Like, how do you look at your writing pad and be like, all right, this is done?
It makes
Special
you
dude,
laugh.
man.
It makes you laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But so your back hair is just free flowing now? or-
No, it's, you know, it's more like acceptable. Like I just got back from Miami Beach last night, and I was walking around on Miami. I was like, I'm aware that I'm hairier than everyone else on this beach.
Did you
but
grow
I'm
up?
okay
Did you
with
grow
it.
up
No.
in Miami?
No, I grew up in Northern California in the country.
Miami, Brian, of all the fucking cities?
I don't know. I thought
He doesn't
maybe,
look like he's from Miami.
No? Where do you, what vibe are you getting?
God,
that was
What? Is Israel?
California for sure. California.
Obviously,
forget-
Israel, you
California
fucking-
vibe for sure. Miami though,
Really? A
I
California?
never get the California.
Nah,
I get New York City
Here's
all
the
the time.
doc-
I feel like I got
No
like a James Caan Godfather vibe.
Here's the
Ah,
doctor.
Yeah, you do.
The doctor straight
Come
from...
on over.
Come over, babe.
Let her
Smart
sit
ones in the building.
Let her sit closer to us. You sit over.
okay.
I want. Let's put the woman in the middle. Otherwise, she'll be left
How
out.
did you guys start?
Welcome.
Here we go.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
Tell me
How
your
you
name.
doing, Brendan?
Hey, nice
Good to see you.
Ashley Winter. Yeah.
Dr. Winter.
Awesome to be here.
Dr.
I've been,
Winter.
Listening to the podcast. It's great.
Yeah, thank you. We're two 11-year-olds in a
We were just
treehouse.
talking about how hairy your man is.
Oh, he's so hairy.
Do you mind the hair on his back?
I don't mind it at all. He's way more bothered by it than I am.
Oh, that's your mic.
He's an
there, buddy.
attractive man.
yeah.
I'm a
Do
gorgeous
you
man.
shave it
Thank
now
you.
or no?
No,
I feel like this is a bad idea.
I don't do that anymore. I mean, like Ashley's wonderful. She's wonderful for my self-esteem, you know, with all that. So she's very I think she's attractive. For me, I think anytime your body starts looking like your dad's,
Yeah.
it makes you feel old.
But you stay in shape.
Yeah, I stay in good
How old
shape.
are you?
I'm like 37.
You look young, man. You look younger than me. I'm younger than 37.
Well,
Dude, he
Also,
looks
like-
younger than me, for sure.
Oh, it looks
Like-
the same age.
We look the same?
I think so. I wouldn't say
Me and you
Mo's
look the same
young.
age?
No,
Fuck, no, come on.
what?
Well, Brian is probably in the best shape of anyone in this room.
Well,
Brian is on some weird vampire blood or
yeah,
some
I
shit.
hang like a bat.
Whatever he does.
He definitely looks
I'm
like all
51,
our
though. I'm an old
dad
man.
in this
I'm
room.
an old man.
Chin, I'd say
half
so.
a century and a
Oldest,
year.
and then Chin's second oldest.
Well, Brian,
how old do you think Asians? You can't tell.
he's 87 years old.
Maybe or 22.
He's like Donnell Rollins. I have no idea how fucking
have
old
no
that
idea.
guy. No idea. No one will ever know.
I feel like at 51, I have figured out how to take care of myself, so I feel optimal. I'll give that to myself.
Take it.
So-
Hey, take
I'm
it.
getting
Hey,
older.
take it easy.
No,
What
take it easy, Tim
What keeps you
Ferriss.
optimized at 51?
Sleep,
Optimized.
sleep, and not doing anything too excessive. Right, so
Yeah.
not even exercise. Like
Yeah.
I don't believe in this training like crazy. I work out. If I feel sore, I'll take a day off.
Well, it's funny. I was showing her one of your stand-up videos yesterday. It was the one you talked about your action hero thing. I go, so notice how he in a way of making fun of, but highlighting how gorgeous and in shape
athletic
he
he
is.
is.
Yes.
Just sort of planting the seeds on every woman in the audience.
That's the whole point of the bit.
That's what I said.
No,
like this whole bit,
not
regardless of
about
what it's
comedy.
called, this is Who Wants to Fuck After the Show.
It's peacocking.
I know. I was telling him, I'm like, I can't wait to go on that podcast. See that guy's like rippling back muscles.
barrel
and
of
like,
snakes?
Yeah, your snake back muscle.
I've always wanted to be a guy like Brendan. I've always wanted to be a big athlete, a pro athlete, but it never panned out. So
Yeah.
it's all essentially trauma and exercising my insecurity.
Well, this is what's interesting about guys like Brendan, because, and I know I don't know you, but I'm just saying, like, guys who are in this, like, comedy used to be degenerates, losers, and now there's guys like Brendan and Joe Rogan, who's obviously been around forever, but it's like, they're good looking, they're tough, and they're funny, and it's like, why are you funny?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, I grew up like the only Jew in a tiny redneck town. I was 5'1" in freshman year of high school. I wrestled at 103 and sucked. And so I learned to be funny. It annoys me when people are like, yeah, I had it good. I got laid out in high school, and now I'm selling out more clubs than you. I just beat you at everything. I'm like, well, how do you guys, why does Joe Rogan wake up and be like, I'm going to think of funny thoughts while I live my perfect life?
Trauma.
Where's the trauma?
His childhood was horrible.
Did he almost drown in pussy when he was in high school?
No.
Is that what happened?
His childhood was rough.
true.
You don't have everybody I know who's worth their salt as either like fighters, athletes, whatever, had at least chaos as children.
Yeah, okay.
And longing and longing. Feeling out of place. I think that's
to me is the key to anyone who is funny is like you have to somehow, at least in my limited view, but you have to somehow feel like you're kind of broken, and that's sort of like
I agree.
your way of sort of grappling. But
Seinfeld
then,
said that. Seinfeld said you always have to feel like your clothes are too big for you or too small for you.
Right,
I think certainly, yeah, to be funny. I mean, why would you? It's Harriet Dorr who wrote the book. She won a National Book Award, and this woman said, were you, she had been a housewife for 35 years before that. She goes, were you happy for 35 years being a housewife? And Harriet Dorr said, can you repeat the question? She goes, were you happy for 35 years being a housewife? And she said, I've never heard of anybody being happy for 35 years, and why would anybody who is happy write a book?
right, exactly.
Legit point.
What's interesting with Ashley, because like as like a surgeon, which couldn't
You're a
seem
surgeon.
more different than
What?
comedy, the kind of like terror and self-recrimination and like all of that stuff that comics have, surgeons apparently have too. Like they're constantly judging themselves by their abilities.
Critical, super critical.
Yeah, and like her job validates her as a person in the way that comedians
Yeah.
also have that thing.
Yeah. No, so we were just at this conference of all the other people who do sexual dysfunction medicine, and a lot of urologists, and like most of the people who are like high volume penile surgeons in the country go to this conference we were just at.
High
Miami.
volume
Yeah.
penile
Yes.
surgery.
Just dicks on a
you know
conveyor belt, and they're just slicing and dicing like Benny.
God.
Hanna.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's crazy, right? Like the 15-year-old version of me would have never said that, like, I have to do more penis surgery, you know, but that's what I'm comparing myself to. So we're there at that conference, and I was kind of down and out, and Mo was like, what's going on? You know, like, it's Miami, it's beautiful, you're talking to these great people, and I'm like, but I'm not this guy, and I haven't done as many penis surgeries as that guy, you know, and yeah, so you're like holding your, you know, but yeah, I'm a surgeon. I'm like
It was
met
it made me think of like when I was at the Montreal
and
Comedy
it's not-
Festival. It's the same
Yeah.
thing for her. You know, you're comparing yourself to other
But wait,
people.
so what when you say penis surgery, what's
Yeah.
a typical penis surgery?
So the main things that I would say this group of doctors do would be surgeries for curved erections, which is like totally a huge thing.
The
Oh
worst.
yeah.
So
totally.
wait, so you mean a guy who can fuck around a corner?
He could totally
Yeah.
fuck.
But it's
Like
not
you can
good.
only
It's called
fuck
that
around a
sneak
corner.
attack.
Yeah, but it's not good.
It's not
No,
good.
right?
It's not
Yeah.
good.
So the penis that bends this way.
Yeah.
And why did they wait so long to do it?
Well, they don't wait that long. It's actually that it's
Case
the,
by case, I guess.
the main age it starts is in your 50s and 60s. So like most
Oh, your
guys-
dick just goes, let's
All
go
of a sudden.
this way at 50.
But it's not like the thing that I'm scared of this now.
Now
It's
I'm
called
worried.
Peyronie's, and
Damn, I thought I was in the clear.
Yo,
No,
but you can fuck it up. Like, tell him how this happens, because now that she's told me how this happens, like, I'm always worried to enter her unless I'm like rock hard.
true.
Because if you're at all soft, that's how you fuck your shit up. You know, like
What?
if you're.
My buddy broke his
Okay,
dick.
You
so-
can break your dick. Yeah.
So
broke
okay,
his
so
dick.
let's this is a lot of
There's a lot
please,
to
Yeah, there's so
It's like
much
an
to
onion.
unpack here.
go into
Dick.
go into curved dick.
Sure,
syndrome.
sure. So curved dick, called Peyronie's disease, they think it's about 1 in 20 men that it happens to. And starts like in your 50s, 60s. It's like a legit thing. You basically wake up one morning and your penis is curved. Like that's it.
This is
Like,
terrifying.
It's absolutely terrifying.
Why does it do that, though? Why does your body go, you know what? Nah.
So, a few things. There are some people who have genetic predisposition, people with like Viking blood, basically, like legit. I don't know why. Nobody knows.
Vikings in
Like,
here, so
I
that's
would say
good.
maybe they had those hats with the curved because like
No one with this sort of curly Jewish sort of
No, you're
shock
probably
is
right.
going to get it.
Is there any precursors?
So the other thing we think is mostly what we call repetitive microtrauma, where basically you're hurting your penis by like kind of like folding it in is probably like the classic example
When a
of
girl's
something
on
you
top?
probably shouldn't be doing. Yeah, like
What
you
do you mean?
shouldn't you shouldn't be bending your penis too much when it's like hard.
I don't do that.
Are you talking
When
about
it's-
like weird angles?
No, I'm talking about, I think she means like, you know, when you go in like for like the second or third time that night, or maybe you've been having a few drinks, or
He's
maybe a
about
puff of Coke.
80%.
Yeah, he's 80%.
He's
right?
kind of not focused.
Yeah.
Exactly.
exactly.
He's being a little
Yeah.
ADD, you know.
He's
it,
distracted.
right.
I'm 51. I don't know what that is. But so
Or your first time when you're completely sober at 51.
That's
you know,
true,
it's that
that's true,
same
that's
sort
true.
of thing.
Yeah, that's strange.
Okay, so here's a game we want to play with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
These are real pictures, and you're going to guess what happened to these penises, and Ashley will tell you the real thing.
Holy fuck, that's
But-
a nutsack with a. That he basically has a turtle head.
I'm going to say
going
this about that. I think that used to be a vagina, and it was a clit, and now they're trying to enlarge it.
on. No, that's someone who fucked up the walls of their dick and it's inverted now.
So this guy put fillers in his scrotum.
Okay.
For cosmetic reasons, but people will put fillers in their penis also to try and make it girthier, and like it can end up in the wrong spot, and then this happens, and you basically get a crazy reaction.
Swollen.
Yeah, terrible.
Well, why do
Painful.
people put fillers in their scrotum? I haven't quite understood that yet.
There's just all sorts of like ideas of what's erotic. You
Don't
know?
some people
like,
put
In the
Botox?
gay
I've heard of
community, there's a lot
Botoxing
of
your nut
Yeah.
sack so it's
Yeah.
smooth like a basketball.
What?
You heard of
Scrotox.
this?
Sure have.
Scrotox.
Scrotox.
Welcome to on 18, Brian.
What the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
man?
Brian, you can't expect a woman to deal with a wrinkly scrotum.
Yeah.
I mean,
My scrotum looks
Yeah.
like it's been through 5 wars.
I don't-
It looks like it's been through all the wars.
I don't care about his back hair, but he's got a really smooth scrotum.
this is true. Very true. And also,
You were
apparently-
born that way, or you?
That's
No,
incredible.
certainly I'm not invested in Scrotox. The $2,000 back hair
I'm
thing.
sure
was
you get a
worth-
discount.
You think so, Ben?
So
I
wait.
don't know. Yeah.
So that would be so when you do surgery on a curved penis.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
So, a few different things. You could take some stitches and basically take it and
Get it
kind
back
of
on
tilt
track.
it the other way. Right.
So you got to cut into it.
Yeah, so you got to take the skin
Surgeon
off
though,
and
huh?
basically drop all the skin down. So that's like what you call degloving. It's kind of gross.
Degloving.
Yeah.
You got to deglove the
You
cock.
gotta deglove
you ever
the
seen him
cock.
skin a
you
snake?
Basically, you pull
You
down.
ever seen him skin a
Yeah.
snake?
Remember when they made the TV
Hold
movie
on.
of La Bamba and he served him the
Wait, so
rattlesnake?
you're peeling the skin off.
You peel the skin off, and then you basically tweak it back straight, and then you pull the skin back up, and you
What do you mean you
know,
tweak it back?
You see how
straight?
Brian looks? This is how I looked at the whole conference this weekend in Miami when I went with her to the.
Now I'm sure it's
thing.
better. I'm sure just like a tattoo artist, it's better when you're dealing with a bigger body of work.
No, so
Like if you're like Tyrone, this will be fun. But
No.
if you're like
All right, we get it. Like, let's not stereotype, but I understand.
for sure. and
stereotypes
that-
exist for a reason.
No, and that's a huge, like, totally astute point that, like, Peyronie's disease, what it does is, like, makes the penis shorter, narrower, like, loss of volume. So when you have to go and tilt it back the other way, what are you doing, right? You're kind of making it shorter, even shorter, right? So to these guys, it's like that's the most devastating thing you could do.
Yeah.
Is like make it even shorter, right? And I'll tell you, these guys like come in. It's not really the curve. It's like this mental thing. Like it's changed them.
Can you make a penis larger?
That's such a good question. The best thing you can do to make your penis longer is longer, not really girthier, but is wear a traction device.
Wear what?
attraction.
Like a wear
Oh
traction
yeah, look this
device.
shit up on the internet. This shit will blow your mind.
No, seriously.
This is horrific.
And I'll tell you, all those guys who get like fat injected in
Yeah,
the all
bad
that
idea.
What a terrible idea. What, can't you
Terrible
can't you
idea.
cut something way down there?
A tendon?
That
And it's like-
the tendon to extend it?
You can right, that's true. You can that's called the suspensory ligament. So that's like basically what holds your penis up, and you can cut that and kind of drop it down. It might
But then
give
you'll be
you more
hard and your
effective,
dick will
like-
be pointing straight down.
totally. So it can become like. Is that it? There's all different ones, but yeah, that's an example.
So this ad says size genetics. Would you like basically a 9-inch penis? The penis extender is quicker, easier, more comfortable, and guarantees extra
Does it
inches or your money
It
back.
enlarges the cavernous bodies in the penis, right? Is that what it does?
Right. So it will actually, and I don't know like that brand, if that brand's a safe brand, but I could totally give you info on like safe ones.
What?
But there's
There's
legitimate
safe ones?
There's legitimate medical like published studies, lots of them on using these things.
What?
Yeah.
So you can pull your dong lower. I have different words. I've used cock, dick, dong, penis.
Oh, bring it
stretch
on.
it.
Bring it on.
But I don't
Yeah.
think this is like particularly effective. Like this is maybe like a fingernail more, right? I mean, this isn't going to give anyone like an inch.
You might.
You maybe
got it on
have
his
like a
credit card.
centimeter or two, you might. But these guys, I mean, to be effective, you're going to be wearing this thing probably 4 to 6 hours every
Worth
night.
it.
Worth
Every
it.
night.
Dudes would do that.
I mean,
for
I wear
sure.
Invisalign, so why the fuck wouldn't I wear
You
them?
know what's
No,
really
it's-
fascinating about the big dick thing? This is something she told me. So, okay, you know, when women who transition into men, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is the fascinating thing where they found out. Well, tell them, babe. The thing about how like they want women who transition to men want giant dicks.
Dicks, yeah.
They don't want just like average dicks. They want to go big.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And they found that the dicks they were asking for and making were too big to fit into anybody.
Right. So they did a study. Yeah. In UCSF, they did a study and they compared like the best selling like dildos on Amazon. Right. And people probably aren't being like skimpy with like dildos. And they compared it to the average circumference of like a neophallus. Right. Which is when you get like a penis
real
made.
dick, yeah.
Yeah. And it was way bigger.
So women can
So-
when women transition, they get an actual synthetic
Off their
penis.
thigh. They take their thigh meat.
Or your
What the
forearm.
fuck
Or
is
your
going on?
forearm.
Are we living in 2060?
Hold on, I didn't know this. I did
I
not
thought
know
you couldn't
this.
do it. I thought they were using like thumbs or something.
No, and I'll tell you, in the state of California, it's
thumbs.
also.
What do you
I
think?
thought you want a dick or a thumb? Take my thumb.
Wait, so they're going inside and they can
My
just
dick,
sort of-
my dick is way
Dude,
bigger
you
than
never
my
been to
thumb.
Thailand and when the guys shake your hand like this?
My dick dwarfs my thumb, by the way, not to brag.
Oh, that's a humble brag if I ever heard one.
So I was going to say. So you take the thigh meat. You take thigh meat.
You can take the thigh meat. And I'll tell you though, when you do the thigh meat, then it's so girthy that like 6 months later you go back and you liposuction it to make it more narrow. Because you can't fit it in anything.
So your dick is made of muscle.
Fat mostly.
Okay, but so
Muscle?
So
Dude, they
what
take it
part
from
of
your
the thigh? I don't have a lot
The
of fat on my
skin,
thigh.
bro.
Yeah.
The skin, for fuck's sake.
So you take the skin and you.
The femur bone.
not your goddamn quad muscle.
It's your femur.
But you said she did thigh muscle.
The-
thigh
No,
meat.
so the skin, the like nerves, the fat, all that stuff. So you have that hangs out, right?
muscle.
Like 8 months later, you could get a penile prosthesis put in to make it hard.
What about all the tubing and wiring? How do we figure that out?
So yeah, so you make a urethra. Yeah, totally.
This is what you do?
I don't do it.
What an exhausting job.
Oh, it's crazy. It's amazing surgery though. It's amazing.
So
It's amazing.
I'm amazed that you
and
can
it works
take-
just as good as
No.
normal people.
It's-
way.
There's for sure like complications and difficulties, but also it's so new
Wait,
that
you
this
just,
is like.
you just asked something that I've never even thought of before. Does the urethra, so when they pee out of that same penis? I never thought
So
about
yeah. One of the main reasons why trans women will get a neophallus, trans men will get a neophallus, right, is not even to have sex. It's so that they can stand to pee. Because identifying yourself as a man, like a huge part of that is like standing to pee. And half the time it's literally like, I want a penis so I can stand and pee.
Like other men do.
Right.
Because they feel like a man.
So
For
amazing.
sure.
That
It's
makes
like not
sense.
even about sex. It's like about being a man.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like,
Because I think on last podcast we were talking about, was it? Yeah, last podcast we were talking about, I think so, or one of them. We're talking about how she-males. How it's like dudes that want to be girls, and then Chin brought him up very quickly for whatever reason. Brought him up, but like pretty
they were-
girls
that
with
was
big
first
titties,
thing.
Yeah.
but then had the biggest cocks.
Well, isn't that funny? So it's like women who transition men have bigger cocks than anyone in this room. Myself
Well, let's take
excluded.
it easy. But
crazy.
Yeah, you're
So,
probably
but you're talking about
pretty
people
well.
who are like biologic men, right? You're talking about biologic
yeah,
men
but
who
they
are.
have the fattest dicks.
So this is super cool. So, and I was telling you about this, and you were like, "What is that title about?" So we did it. We submitted a research project to like a major conference about trans women porn stars, right? So like exactly what you're talking about, but who still have penises, and like whether or not they're like having ED and whether or not they're taking pills and stuff.
I feel like that's the way to go. Just keep the.
I feel like that too. Like, have more options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, but
fuck
she
ar-
said, it's a
Oh,
psychological.
we can pee sitting down.
identification. I don't do that, dude.
But no, they can. They
Unless
can
I
go
don't
to
wanna
women's
make 'em
bathroom and
mad.
just tuck it down.
So there is something now, a penis transplant,
Yes.
which apparently is working.
That's
Should
true.
we give them their gift?
Oh, we could give them.
Is it a giant dildo?
So we want. So I don't know how you guys introduce us or whatever. We do this podcast, the full release.
Okay.
So it's basically a comedian. It just when does it
And
air
you're a
today?
urologist.
Yeah, that's to be
I
out
am a
tonight.
urologist.
Okay, I'm going to be
Yeah.
performing. I'll just plug this at the Phoenix, the House of Comedy this weekend. So the House of Comedy Phoenix. So we do this podcast, and we were at this urology conference of the weekend. We wanted to give you guys a gift. So this is just a gift for you guys, and this is something you could share.
Thank you for the random fucking,
I don't know if there's enough bows. We went to CVS on the way over here, and
and then put together.
Ooh, I hope it's a
This is-
live animal.
I actually have this only on loan. I gotta admit, but it's very exclusive.
dun dun dun.
It's
dun,
a dick
dun.
in a box.
It literally is.
Literally a dick,
a dick and formaldehyde.
right?
That would be super
It's a
cool.
bottle. Oh,
You in our med school, we had like crazy stuff in
Why did you
formaldehyde,
put all the plastic wrap?
like a cyclops.
like it's legit.
Yeah.
Wrap. It's a dick extender for Brian.
so this is an actual penile prosthesis is inside of this thing.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
That's a pretty
Okay.
good gift.
So, right, we were saying like you could have a penile implant put in, right, to give you an erection. So this
Yeah.
is like actually an FDA approved device inside of that penis, and I can show you how to use it.
It's not
but,
big enough.
Well, you got to blow it up.
Well,
Oh.
beggars can't be choosers.
And it comes in different
hey, babe,
sizes.
Grab
Well, you
the
gotta
thing in the bottom
suck
because that's the
on
thing
it,
that has
Brian.
the brand on it.
Brian, put it in
Oh,
your
no,
mouth.
it's on there.
Put it in your
Yeah.
mouth.
Is that how you do it?
So, Brian, would you want to put your lips around that testicle and you bite down on
These
the pump?
balls are terrible. All right.
So what you're gonna do, right, is
Yeah.
like you're gonna grab this one in the middle.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel there's ball here, and
Yeah.
there's ball in the middle, and you're gonna squeeze that until it goes up.
It's sort of like those Reebok sneakers, but no one's jealous when you have
The
one.
pumps.
Yeah. But so this is the legit thing that like we were talking about. If you were a trans man, you'd have put in, or if you're a guy who has ED that doesn't respond to treatment, you'd have this put in surgically. So like.
They move faster, Brian.
I'm trying, dude.
Because it seems like this is the first time this guy's
And-
ever done this
No,
before.
dude. Act like you've been around there.
And it does come in different sizes, right? So it gets like fitted to you. So this one's like 18 centimeters, but you can get longer.
And for an extra
having
$50,
trouble.
it'll play the Game of Thrones theme song as it gets hard.
I'm confused. So this is an actual, like someone will attach this to their body.
So, and we should look it up. Maybe you guys could pull up like penile prosthesis online.
I feel something buzzing.
Oh, you might have.
You just made a cum.
Oh, it's about to bust.
may-
You just made a
It's
cum.
about to bust.
You just got pregnant.
This is the
That thing's
craziest thing I've
about
ever
to
done in my
bust.
life. Hold on.
So
I doubt that, Playboy.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting some. Now
Wait,
we're
I
getting
think
some.
you could be pressing the deflate mechanism at the same time, and then it's not going to
Yeah,
get
you
hard.
do it, man.
Okay.
I already feel weird that I have this.
Brian, did that make you feel at
So-
all like inadequate?
I'm
Unable
confused.
to do
All
it?
I'm going to say is I'm confused.
So I'm gonna pretend it's mine. I'm
Look at
gonna
this.
put it right
Oh, this
here.
is great, babe. Thanks. I love having this image in my head.
Yeah, Mo's obviously into women.
We're
with
gonna role
strap-ons.
play later.
Look at that.
So
this is incredible.
so
not
there's
working.
there's a device inside, right?
There we
that
go.
would be what would be implanted, and this is just like a model. Just look up like inflatable penile prosthesis, maybe, or like do
it
Google
feels
search.
real.
Now that would go in.
Do
Would you cover that in skin, or that's what you would have?
so what you do like in a cis guy, right, in a guy who has like a penis and he just has ED, then you find the penis and you open up like the two chambers and you slide the device in. Yeah.
So there
that's
are
what's
chambers
inside.
in the penis.
Yeah, you have 2 chambers for your erection, and then you have a third chamber that's the urethra.
Hold
basically.
up. So, I'm sorry. I'm an moron. I was thinking you put that rubber dick and sew it onto somebody.
No,
You're
no.
saying that inside, you
Yes.
put that blow up
Yes.
button on a real man's scrotum and then he has to fill it up?
Yes. So you would have this, like, an internal. It's,
This is my girlfriend right here, huh? Look at this. So,
That's amazing.
So it would be like an inner tube for your penis.
and by the way, it's not just old dudes who get this shit. This is
No.
like dudes who have like diabetes.
Yeah.
Like young guys. Like, what's the earliest guy that you've done this to?
The youngest guy I put this in, it was 47.
Wow.
And he
5
was
years younger than you.
And was he? Are your customers happy, or at least satisfied?
90% or higher satisfaction.
Can they feel?
I feel like he can get a little tricky.
Yeah. Can
So-
they feel? And they can't ejaculate, obviously.
no, they
no,
can.
they can. They can.
That's why they do
So
it.
you can
Brian.
actually. This is something we were.
so much.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
from this
so
podcast I've
happy
learned shit.
about
You can ejaculate. They have this fucking amazing thing. Check this out. It's called okay, guys who are in like wheelchairs and they can't get hard at all.
Yeah.
They have this like tongs with vibrators on it, and they could hook it onto their dick, and they'll come without being hard. Coming and being hard. I know so much about this now.
I know
Have
you do.
absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
So the people in the wheelchair, but they'll get the same euphoria from coming, even though they're not hard if they come?
Yeah. So it's different nerves that you use to have an erection and to have an orgasm. It's different nerves. So you don't
Okay.
have to have both. But you don't realize that because you've probably spent your whole entire life having both at the same time.
I did this Comedy Central pilot. I was writing on that Theo did, and part of it was to like he was going to help this guy learn to relax, and we were trying to figure out how to hook these into some pants so a guy could be coming while he's just sort of out in public, and we couldn't figure out how to make it
That's the
work.
craziest.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But so if you have this like inner tube, let's say, put in your penis, right? The skin feels the same, you orgasm the same, you ejaculate the same. So it's really just like hydraulic support.
All right, can we,
like,
let's move this up.
no, I just gotta just give you.
You hold it there. That's it. There it is. It's hard.
Yeah, so it's hard. Here, you can.
He's not.
You take feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you first broke that, I'm like, damn, they're sewing on these plastic dicks onto people, huh?
Isn't that
Can't
incredible?
get any better.
But that's
research.
wild that like a guy who can't get hard can like the skin and all
cool.
that feels the same. I mean it's
Well, first of all, for
pretty wild.
soldiers that have lost their penis, this is
Exactly.
a huge thing. It's very important surgery. It just is. I mean, whatever you're doing, you're on the forefront of shit that's
Does
important.
insurance cover it?
Yeah. So we were talking about this on the way over, right?
You
Because
can take that, Humpy.
it's like observe Veterans Day today, right?
Yeah.
And like one of the things that makes me so passionate about this is like I was working in a VA once, and we were doing one of these surgeries, right? And a guy who was like Vietnam vet, like had gone through prostate cancer, like couldn't have intimacy, and he was having this surgery, right? And the anesthesiologist looked over the drape and was like, why are my tax dollars paying for that? And it's like,
No way.
yeah, and
He
it's like,
doesn't understand, or she doesn't understand, whoever it was.
yeah, and it's this like terrible thing that we think that like sexual health isn't part of health. Like
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
We
crazy.
identify so strongly with being able to give somebody else pleasure and being wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to men. That's so important. It's
So
almost
important.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean, it just is. It's a huge part of virility. It's a huge part of feeling like a man. It's a huge part of all that stuff.
It's crazy that until the last 30 years, if you couldn't get hard as a guy, like as you got older,
Just
it
had
was
to
like
deal with it.
Just done.
You were
done deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were saying, like if you look at healthcare spending in the U.S., right, like 90% of it is spent in the last like week of life in an ICU,
Yep.
right? So we care so much about like fighting infections and keeping people alive when they have no quality of life, but then like things that are so important to like feeling whole, right? Having a partner, being like a man or a woman, we just kind of like stigmatize.
Well,
them,
what's amazing is
you know?
that I know very little about any of this stuff because, in a way, in this country, you can't really. It's very taboo still. It's still like a mystery. Like, did the fact that you have this thing, that this is an option in surgery, I didn't know.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is something I learned this week at the conference because I was just tagging along with her in Miami. This shit blew my fucking mind. So there is this condition out there called buried penis. And when really obese people get so big, their penises legit disappear. And I don't mean like they have like fat over it.
Yeah.
The skin somehow, you have to explain to them, somehow goes inside out.
Turtle
And-
head.
Yeah, and their dick kind of
Yeah.
just, and if you lose all the weight,
Turtle head.
Yeah, it's the medical term is turtle head.
Turtle head.
And
Yeah.
if you
See it 1,000 times.
even if you lose weight, you don't get it back. And they show the
What?
surgery where they'll have to cut it
You
up
have to
and they
do-
have to reach in with tongs and literally like retrieve it, like pull it back
Jesus
out. It's fucking
Christ.
bananas.
and then you have to do like a skin graft
Why?
because all the skin is so inflamed from being like trapped inside out like that that it's like useless. Like
How do you pee when you have that situation? You just
I was wondering about that. They didn't say that. Did they just dribble?
yeah, you dribble. I mean, you probably have to sit down and dribble from it. But
who is there a nationality? I talked to a nurse who worked for a urologist and had seen 35,000 cocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was smoking, and she was and Jimmy Burke said to her, "Who has and before he got out biggest cocks, she goes, biggest cocks, the Greeks. If your name ends in OUS, you got a huge cock. That's all it
Really?
is.
I've
Bigger
never
than
heard
black
that
guys,
before.
bigger
I've
than
never heard that
American
I feel like
Indians.
those togas
No.
just make it look big.
Yeah,
but they're not actually.
I'm
that
not
big.
buying that.
I'm not buying that either.
Well,
If the Greeks had such
Yeah.
big dicks, why do they feel the need to conquer so much? They were making up
And
for
every
a small
black
dick.
was
every
1,000,
black friend I
5,000.
have is going, excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I can't say that there's like one specific group that's like.
Then what's the bit?
It varies.
I mean, on average,
Well, Jews,
I
Has
think
there
right?
been one
Babe,
that stuck
Jews.
out?
Jews are not bad.
Jews is what you often whispered in my ear to stop me from weeping while I see my own back hair in the mirror as we make love, right? Jews?
Jews. She goes, Jews.
Do you ever get to the cutting room table? I guess we call it that, and you're like, Jesus Christ! Like it's just a whopper of a dick.
Oh, for sure. I mean, unfortunately, like
You're
you'll
like,
be doing a
good
surgery.
for you, Eddie. You
Yeah,
know?
like they're like you'll be doing some surgery that has nothing to do with the penis, like some cancer surgery, and everybody be like, "Oh wow, yeah, that's impressive."
People really comment on it. They take a time out.
Sure.
It's
I mean,
natural.
you're just, and you're not like being disrespectful. I think it's
Yeah.
just like observational when something is
Check
like
out the dick on
exceptional.
Gary.
Then you're
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
whoa, like, and especially,
Congratulations.
yeah, and especially,
Pick it up and weigh it.
As soon
no
as
one's
he-
grabbing. Going, check out
as
this.
soon as he
fucking
weighs-
Or they are.
Or they're taking those Abu Ghraib type pictures.
well,
Yep.
so that with these surgeries, you do have to measure like internally the penis, so you get a sense like over time, like different sizes from that.
Yeah.
Now, the longest one I ever put in was 27 centimeters, and I'm trying to think. We always do it in centimeters, so what would that like?
How many inches is that?
I mean, I would guess it would be like 13 something.
Oh,
Just
10. Oh,
10.6.
yeah,
About 11
soft.
inches.
Just soft.
Soft 11.
yeah. But
we-
like
That's a long
pulled.
tail.
It's so interesting because, like, we get, like, you
long
know,
tail.
we take calls on our
Yeah.
podcast, and we should give them the number. But 90% of them are, like, dudes talking about, like, size and stuff. Like, that is such a fucking fixation.
What is your guys' podcast about?
So it's called The Full Release, and it's basically like Loveline if Dr. Drew and Adam used to fuck.
Yeah.
You know, so we talk about our own relationship, and then we take calls. Give them the number. Do you have a memory?
It's 213-631-3460.
Or the fullreleasepod@gmail.com. And so we just take questions and then we'll take medical questions each week, and then we'll just talk about some random weird shit. Like we did an episode about how animals fuck and like the weirdest copulation of animals. One of the weirder ones we found was the way bed bugs have sex. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
Sure.
Of course. Yeah. Well, just to refresh everybody.
please do,
So this is
'cause we went
fascinating.
over it the other week.
We took over that.
Bed bugs do not have vaginas, female bed bugs. And the
No
way that
way.
they have sex is the male bed bug just stabs the female in the chest with his penis anywhere and comes, and then she gets pregnant. And the females have evolved in a way where they don't die from that. But bed bugs get real frisky in the heat of the moment, and they'll often stab other males in the chest with their dicks, and the males haven't evolved, and they will die.
Damn.
So
That's
that is
like running around with a knife. I'm horny as fuck.
Exactly.
And the woman's like,
I'm about to bust.
yeah.
Yeah, you should never repress your homosexuality unless you're a bed bug. 'Cause
Okay.
you will fucking kill all your friends.
Yeah, well, that's like a big guy like Brendan comes in and goes, I'll fuck anything that moves. Brendan's
Give me your
horny.
chest.
Brendan's horny. Watch out. And he
Give
just
me your
starts-
hairy
yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
So
Glazing everybody.
my favorite
Blazing everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, go on.
my favorite part about this was that so when we were in Miami, he went and did some shows, and afterwards, some girl came up to him and was like, "I love insect sex."
Yeah, I was talking about.
some weird ones.
I was talking about that on stage, and I talked about like a hemorrhoid situation I'm dealing with, and she came on and she was like, "You talk about everything I love hearing about, like hemorrhoids and insect sex." I was like, "Damn, I
got a
finally
freak on
found
your
my
hands.
fucking fan base."
You got a freak on your hands. You got hemorrhoids, bro?
I'm dealing with what's known as an internal hemorrhoid right now.
The worst kind.
Not the worst kind.
I'm familiar with myself.
Oh, are you dealing with internal or external?
Long time ago, amigo.
Okay. All right.
Yours is inside?
Yeah, but the weird thing about the internal ones is there's no nerves. So once they get it in there and snap the rubber band on, which I'm doing right now, like you don't feel anything.
They put a rubber band. What do they do?
They tighten off the right. They tighten off
And it
the.
dies?
blood
It's like the way you
supply
take off a ball's testicles. It's the same thing. You just put a rubber band on it.
Do you deal with
Actually-
hemorrhoids or no? Just dicks.
No, but I do put my finger up a lot of butts.
You do
Yeah,
to check the prostate.
exactly. Yeah. In fact, I had this patient once really recently come in, probably like a 65-year-old guy. And his 90-year-old dad had told him to find a woman urologist because our fingers are smaller.
That dad's a
He
brilliant man.
Brilliant, right?
Because I went to an old Jewish doctor with fucking bratwurst. for fingers.
Oh, dude, I wonder if is he out in the
Three of
valley?
them. 3 of them in my anus.
That's a problem.
No, come
Dude, because the
on.
guy I go to, I
Three?
don't want to say his name, but he looks like a little mole. And he's got real
This guy's big.
thick fingers.
This guy
and-
definitely did some sports.
Yeah.
Big old dick.
Big
fingers.
athlete, huh?
Yeah.
Like a defensive
Dude,
end.
3 fingers.
That's a huge
That's
problem.
that's crazy.
He got doo-doo,
That's not.
baby.
Well, he's attracted to
He got doo-doo, baby.
Yeah.
I want last laugh, you know?
Yeah. You're gonna get some doo doo on your fingers. I can't stand that.
That lowers
shit.
your copay if you can make them
I
get
can't
shit on their
stand that shit. I can't. I've had it done to me. I cannot fucking stand it.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
you've
talking
had to
to
get the fucking the probably thing at this
I
age.
did. I had to.
At
I had
50,
the camera
right?
stuck up my
50
ass.
checkup?
Yep, I was good though.
But starting at 55, you got to get your prostate checked. So.
I get my prostate checked now.
Oh.
You still get it.
Oh, you can milk a prostate.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get my prostate milk. I can't. I don't like any of that stuff. I will say, when I thought I had gonorrhea when I was in college, he stuck a swab in my dick. Now you just do a urine.
You just pee.
I've never had that,
You
but
just
talk
pee. I've
never
about
had that.
gauging. This is some crazy shit.
About what?
Often she has to
Gauging.
pull shit out of guys' dicks that they put in there on
People
purpose.
put things in
Stop
their
it.
ears.
Stop it.
Up the hole?
Yeah, I had to go into the emergency room at like 2 in the
If you
morning.
guys reach in that peg, you'll find some specially erotic pipe cleaners.
These are
that you
beads.
can use.
They're
You
beads for you guys' dicks.
No.
We put dick beads in there as well.
can- little dick beads. If you just
Little
dig
dick
in there,
beads.
Brian, just
I
get
got
in
him,
there.
I got him.
Okay.
I got him.
No, but tell them this shit blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, people will stick
That's how
stuff in
horny
there,
people are.
like erotically, like putting things up there.
How
But
does that feel good?
I don't know.
Well, Robert Mapplethorpe, bring up his pictures because there's
Oh, he's
he
got
has a
some-
picture of a guy's index finger stuck right up another guy's dick.
ugh.
And I don't know if you know how painful that would be, but see what you're doing with your face. That's
no,
what I do.
I do.
I got a problem with that. Yeah, go ahead and put.
I went to a Robert Mapplethorpe exhibit with my mom because she's a
I've
photographer.
never heard of him.
It's just all giant cocks, and it was very uncomfortable.
What's that?
So you're pulling things out of guys' penises.
I have to take a
There you go.
Whoa!
There you go. There's
Oh.
a couple of these.
So
You can go ahead and keep going.
as a urologist, one of the things I do is put a camera up people's urethras quite frequently.
Wow!
Oh my
That
god!
is really just getting. That is
You
getting
know, so
down.
Robert Mapplethorpe,
He's elbows deep in that man's asshole.
This was financed by the National Endowment of the Arts, and it caused a
Naturally.
huge stir. People were like, "I don't want to pay for this shit."
This is like when red state
Wow.
people turn their
Keep
back
going,
on like
keep
the
going.
arts
I'm
and
out,
shit.
too.
There he is. That's
I'm
the
out.
actual photographer. He's got a bullwhip shoved up his asshole. Now, he died of AIDS. Now, here's the thing.
No,
unfortunately.
really? Wow.
Very gifted artist. Very
Oh,
gifted.
my
but
God.
Oh, it seems like he's the worst artist, but sure,
no,
man.
He was part of the whole gay sort of
what we did this
movement.
morning.
Now, that's a great picture. Now, look at the dick coming out of that guy's awesome suit. And it goes with the suit. It just does.
Now that we have
does.
7 listeners left,
It does. That's on-
what would you pull out of these penises?
Like the last thing was a pen, but God, yeah, and
A pen.
Delicious,
pen.
delicious.
Well, this
pen.
is the thing. You can buy stuff to do this, right? Online, you can buy stuff
it's
so it doesn't.
safe?
Yeah, so that it doesn't get traveled up there, right? Like a butt plug has something so it doesn't get stuck up
Get
there.
a cord, yeah,
Right, you
yank
got-
it back out.
He knows.
Yeah.
But it's just like amazing.
Like-
Like people are so fucking horny. Like guys, basically.
Well, no,
Like,
they're weird.
They're weird, but like I think it's
fetish.
like drugs, you know?
Fetish.
Like people are like, oh,
Fetish.
that's not enough. Now I need to do this, and then they get to the point like, I just need to put a staple in my urethra. You know, like
No,
it
I
just
mean-
goes to these crazy fucking places.
We were saying, I was talking to a woman in the OR the other day who's saying that they had to surgically remove a Rogaine bottle from a guy's rectum.
Oh yeah. I've
Well, if
heard
you
of
want it to
that.
work, you
Yeah.
dig enough. If you want it to work, you got to really.
Rogaine.
the butt
dedicate to
stuff.
the
I mean, the butt stuff makes more sense than the penis shoe.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some like medical basis for why these things would feel good, like for sure.
Like
It's
peeing
just-
feels good when it's coming out, right?
Yeah.
So maybe guys are like, just put it back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because men are explorers. That's how America was discovered, and mountains.
Yes.
You know, there's like this drive to uncover. Why did you stick the pen in your penis? Because it was there.
It was there.
Do you guys get most callers, I'm sure, looking for advice on their relationship?
Yeah, a lot of like
or do you
relationship
get
advice.
people who are, like sex addicts and
Well, yeah, there's some stuff like that. We had a great couple that we interviewed who is a swinger couple.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they've
that's
actually
great.
banged Ron Jeremy together. They said it was
The hedgehog
goal
of porn.
what
Hedgehog
age,
porn.
Ron Jeremy? Now or
Kind of current. So that's not great.
Enjoy
Wow.
that. That's
Yeah.
a very
Buzz's
strange.
girlfriend? Whoa.
Yeah, it's
You might
not.
have wanted to see what that guy looks like on his girlfriend.
I mean, this
Yes.
well, this is interesting. This guy that we interviewed
Yeah.
was into that cuckolding stuff.
Yeah.
That's watching your girl get
Yeah,
fucked,
which is
right?
so
Yeah.
fucking bizarre. Because to me, like, of course, it's a sex positive podcast, so there's no judgment anywhere. But that is one where it's just so hard for me to get my head around into the person who would be into that. Like, that sounds so weird to me.
Yeah.
like how you
depends.
gain from that. You know, so we had them on. We had this really fascinating one, and this is actually something that maybe people who listen to the show are dealing with. Probably more so than putting stuff up their penises, is guys who are trying to get their wives pregnant and having to go to, like, you know, if you're not getting your wife pregnant, you have to go get your fertility checked,
Yeah.
right? So we had this guy on the podcast, and it was really funny because it's so funny how people like think they know about medicine and they decide to be their own doctor, and they could be completely wrong. You know, so we're talking to this guy. It's like, you know, I had to go in to get the, I had to get my stuff checked to make sure I'm qualified to be a father. So naturally, I didn't masturbate for a month just to make sure there's a lot of it in there. When I went in there, and now she's like, you just killed all of
That's the worst.
your fertility.
Because your body stops making it, right?
It dies. Like it's like milk
So
goes
holding
bad.
it
Yeah.
in.
Ruins it.
The sperm quality is the best if you ejaculate every day. It's 100% fact.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Because my dick
100%.
doctor, because this fertility thing we're dealing with, he says you got to just don't jack off 3 to 4 days.
So you'll store up more
feel like he's lying.
volume. You'll store up more volume
Feels like he's hating.
but the
I think
quality.
he doesn't want you to knock your wife up because he wants to keep these sessions going.
Dude, you're right.
This is like when a therapist like
That's
ends your
so
session with like, well, I think you're gay. All right, next week, huh? All right, we're gonna what? Okay.
Right.
Well, you're clearly gay. We'll get into it next week.
Anyway, let's put you down for 12 sessions and we'll dig into that.
Yeah, no, but you'll probably have a little more volume if you wait a few days, but the quality is the best if you ejaculate every day. They've
So
looked,
no
You
more.
deal
they've
with
looked at
you
that.
deal with a lot of. I heard that venereal disease is up, especially chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Yeah, that is true. That is
Can
true.
you have those without knowing it?
Yeah, 100%.
So
definitely.
then, obviously, people are getting over it on their own.
I don't know.
I mean, I have my friend's so funny comic. He goes, I go, have you ever had because he never uses condoms. I go, well, you know, you can get chlamydia, gonorrhea. He goes, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm immune to that. I go, I swear. He goes,
No.
You've never had it. He goes, I swear to God. He goes, just, you know, I go,
Is
you
that
never
friend
had him.
named- Is that friend named Brendan Shaw?
No, yeah. I go, you never had it. He goes, I mean, I've had a drippy dick, but I'm nothing that's gonna. And I go, well,
Oh my God.
that's what that is. But
You
your
ever got
body-
syphilis? No, I do think I've
Yeah.
slowly got
No.
insane over the last 10 years.
You're not. Yeah,
but
you're not
other
going to
than
fight.
that, I think I'm fine.
You're not going to fight syphilis, but you will. Your body will fight gonorrhea or chlamydia eventually.
Didn't
right?
Al Capone die from syphilis?
syphilis. Yeah. But dude,
Hold. Let me hear the doctor.
No, you can have for sure real complications. Like if you had untreated gonorrhea or chlamydia, you could become infertile from that,
Right.
without a doubt. In terms of like,
If
is
you're
it
a
going to
man or you're a
overwhelm?
woman, I guess both.
As a man, for
Yeah.
sure, definitely. But I mean, is
sounds
it going to
good.
like overwhelm you and kill you like the way syphilis will?
Yeah,
no. But it's definitely on the rise. All 3 of those, and versions that are harder to treat.
Yes.
And part of this is linked to PrEP. Do you guys know what PrEP is?
No.
Sure don't.
So
This is actually kind of fucking crazy that you don't know what this is because most people don't. But like, she's going to tell you, like, it's basically like it's impossible to spread HIV if somebody takes PrEP or if you take it.
it's basically like HIV birth control. So you take how you treat HIV, right, is antiretroviral drugs. So you can, if you don't have HIV, you can just take HIV drugs indefinitely. And even if you have sex with somebody who has HIV, you're not going to get HIV.
I have heard of
So,
this.
But this is
yeah.
so
Because a lot of
crazy.
the gays do it, right? Because if their man has HIV, he's not off limits anymore.
But what's so funny is like just how people like learn the wrong lessons from these things. Like we were looking at this study they did where they wanted to test the effectiveness, right? So they got 400, I think it was all gay men in San Francisco to take PrEP, and they're like, and so they all took it and they didn't use condoms. And they're like, none of them got HIV.
Everybody
They all got other diseases, though.
Right.
because they didn't
Hep
think it through.
C,
Yeah,
Hep
they all
C,
got like
Hep B,
syphilis,
everything
herpes.
else but
yeah.
that.
Hey, success!
Dumbass.
Yeah. So all,
It's like, I don't have that, but these warts.
They're like, well, guys,
That's
we
guys,
didn't tell
that's
you
guys.
to fuck like somebody different like every hour and not
Right.
ever use condoms. Like that was not
Right,
part of the
right,
study.
right.
Jesus Christ.
right. So and any high risk group, right? So gay men, but also other people like sex workers, or so all these high risk groups now use PrEP, which has led to kind of a re-revolution of like sex, right?
Yeah.
That like safe sex era has kind of like backpedaled.
Yep.
And now we're getting all the other shit. And people aren't realizing it, and there's like becoming like drug resistant strains of some of these things, and it's like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
We
like-
are like the first time me and Ashley had sex, we didn't use I don't think it was okay to talk about. I don't think we used-
no, talk
so I
about
do this
it.
thing where like I mean we've been together for over a year now, so like
Say over a year?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
long. Carry on.
not long. All right.
Yeah, all right. I thought
It's
every other year, so
but
we're good.
It feels like 10.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we didn't use a condom, and then I do this thing like
Damn, dog.
where I won't use a condom, and then I'll get super neurotic about it, and I'll be like terrified, So I made her go down with me to Walgreens, and I've done this with numerous women, where you buy the HIV home test. It's
HIV for straight
50
guys.
I know, it's basically
slim to vanishing, especially if you're European descent. The reason for that, and I don't know if you know this, but at least this is from Juan Enriquez, who he's a venture capitalist, and but he was on TED Talk about this. What they found is that if you survive the bubonic plague, which is almost everybody you know of European extraction, everybody you know who has European blood survived the bubonic plague, which killed half of Europe in some
it's
places.
fucking nuts.
You have a genetic predisposition. There is a gene factor where you're essentially HIV resistant, meaning that the only way to get HIV. So why didn't HIV become? Why was it an African American disease? Why was it an East Asian disease? And why was it prevalent in both sexes? Why in Africa was it devastating to both sexes? Why not in Europe? It never happened. Because you have a genetic predisposition, you're HIV resistant. The only people that actually got it were white men who were either shooting up and getting it shot into their veins or having anal sex and being the recipient of anal sex. The men that were doing the fucking in the epidemic were the ones that survived the epidemic.
So you made her take a HIV test.
Oh, I've been to do this a million times. So, but no one knows this exists. And I actually do a bit about this in my stand-up act because it's so funny. Like, this is how little people use this product. In any Walgreens or Duane Reade or drugstore, they sell an HIV test where you can find out within 20 minutes just by putting it on your gums, no blood, just spit, if you have HIV. But these products are so infrequently bought. They're always 50% off. So my question is, who's walking in there like, I think I have AIDS. Oh, it's not marked down? Fuck it. I'll find out next month. You know what I mean? I just signed up for Hulu Plus. I can't afford to know about AIDS. So I was all terrified, and then I made her, and that's why I knew she would be a good girl for me because she could deal with my fucking
You're
neurosis.
a pussy, though. How would you worry about HIV?
Dude, you don't...
And you bring her down to the fucking... I would never. I'd be like, nah, it's all right. It's all good.
No, I know.
When he was like, hey, do you mind going to get an
where I'm
HIV
like,
test?
I know it's not going to happen, but I will be bothered by it for 6 months. It will just crush me inside. Yeah. I've called the HIV hotline so many times where they literally told me, sir, you cannot call here for 48 hours. Because
you're worried about the AIDS.
I just get a neurotic thing in my head.
Don't you tell him that it's
crazy.
it's slim to vanishing?
I know, but I have to deal with this beautiful woman who comes home having just had her finger up like 1,000 assholes with germs all over and be like, give me a hug in your fucking scrubs that probably have a million fucking diseases all over. And it fucking drives me
what
nuts.
a germaphobe.
So yeah, when he came home and said that to me, I said, fine, you have to take one too, and you're going to pay for it. And then we did it. It was fine.
Well, that was not necessary. I was not planning on asking you to Venmo me $58.
You're like, I'll cover it.
Unless you were positive, in which case I would ask for the Venmo.
Yeah, but I've had guys, slip up in the act, and then you have to go spend $50 on a plan B, and they're not chipping in, which is in both people's self-interest.
Yeah.
Come on.
Where'd you guys meet?
I was doing stand-up in Portland at a Harvey's, and she had never been to a stand-up show before, so she naturally thought I was hilarious. It's actually...
You're a funny comic.
So you came to that Harvey's in Portland.
But it's a good story.
It's a good story.
Because, so I'm on stage, right, and there's this woman in the crowd, very short hair, clearly a lesbian, I would guess, and it turned out I was right, taking photos, like a giant telescopic camera, like fucking National Geographic style camera. And I was just like, all right, you gotta stop taking pictures. She kind of gave me an attitude about it. And she was sitting next to her, and so I noticed her. I'm like, oh, who's this fucking cute girl, in Portland? And afterwards, I am schmoozing around, selling my sweet T-shirts, hawking merch, and I see her doing this thing that only a woman could do and it's not like totally. She didn't come up and approach me. She just lurked, just sort of like stood by. And if you're a guy,
a doctor lurking,
just creeping around. And then so I ended up going out with her and her friend, who was this lesbian woman, and she had just moved to Portland. And as we're on the three of us out there, I'm like, we're talking. I'm like, this woman like is trying to fuck you. Like, there's no world in which she's not trying to have sex with you. And she was one of these like frat boy lesbians. She's showing us pictures on her phone, like I hooked up with her. It was like, it was weird. You know, she's like aggressive style. And sure enough,
she was fun to hang out with.
Yeah, she.
Wait, why were you with her? Did I miss that?
This is a part of the story I'm also not clear about. But
So-
Why were you with fucking?
They were dating.
No, we were not dating, but I was new in town and I didn't have a lot of friends. And I met her at an eclipse party through another friend from New York. So, like, it was right when the eclipse thing was going on. And then she was just
you
like...
went to an eclipse party.
Yeah. Well, it was like up there, you know. It was like right near the totality and everything.
Sure.
So
nothing sounds more Portland than an eclipse party.
Yeah,
Correct.
Lots of hummus
Of course,
spreads.
there's a huge
There's a variety
lesbian
of
with short hair
Yeah.
staring at the moon. Yeah, carry on.
No, and she was just fun and she knew a lot of people. So then one night she calls me up and she's like, "You want to get tacos?" And I was like, "Okay." And then instead of going to tacos, we go to like an art show and somewhere else. And then Mo's thing. And I was like wasted. And then by the end of the show, hungover. And that's why I was just lurking instead of being like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
But what
I
you
was
said,
like,
low
shit.
energy, felt like shit.
Yeah.
but we ended up like
The lesbian didn't cock block you?
She was
She
trying
tried to.
I had to really maneuver hard.
She tried to.
And it's tough.
It's hard.
A thirsty lesbian, man.
Exactly, and she was and it was that
A
fucked up
Portland
thing where-
lesbo?
Yeah, I mean that's high level.
Dude.
That's high level. That's high cal. And I had called the
Like you
club
didn't get beat up.
to ask them to come pick us up, to come pick me up, and then it was like they were like, "All right, we'll be there in 15 minutes." And in that 15 minutes, like the charm got strong. You know, I
Yeah.
could really feel the vibe. And I was
It
like, "Oh
did.
shit!" You know,
It
like,
did.
You know, and I really thought, okay, this is gonna happen. And then she said to me as I walked outside, she said, "I don't know where she got this word." She goes, "I'm not going home with you. I'm not a floozy."
I said that.
which is just an
I
old
like that.
school
I'm
term.
not
You say, but you're going to go home with
Floozy.
fucking Rosie O'Donnell over here?
Yeah. And then I went home with her and we scissored for the rest of the night.
No, it
So
was
then
a,
we ended up
hey,
kissing. It was like this crazy kiss. It was
It
like
was a
that
really
kind of
good
fucking
kiss.
like movie kiss.
Passion.
It
Like,
was.
yeah, and while we're kissing, the lesbians glaring at us, the club owner's staring me in the truck like, "I thought you should pick me up. Now I gotta watch you fucking make out with this girl." And it was just like, it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And so we've been, yeah.
It was
connection.
crazy. He got in the cab, and then like this group of like divorcees started like slow clapping me. Like,
No.
Yeah.
yeah, they did. And then I walk in the bar, and they were like, "That was the best kiss I've ever seen."
And there was the lesbian like, no, it wasn't.
She was
That
like,
was a fucking
No,
bullshit
it was.
kiss.
That's some bullshit.
No, it wasn't. Check this out.
Fuck that guy.
That's a
No, but then she said to her,
very
she goes,
good lesbian impression.
Farted.
by the way, spot on perfect lesbian impression. I hope that's going to be in your Showtime special.
That's such an offensive impersonation of a lesbian. No, it wasn't.
It sounded like when Chris Farley is asking for the fries in that old SNL.
Lay off me. I'm starving.
Hey, Brendan, I gotta stop you. That seems like a really stereotypical.
No, it sounds like that's what
I
she's
don't know if
dealing
that's-
with.
I don't know if
this
she-
Portland
I don't know if she had a.
who
I
just
don't-
No,
cut off fucking flannel.
I don't know if she had
Let's
a.
get out of here. Come on, come over here. Fuck that guy.
And then she farted like hard.
It's sort of.
And she stuck her
We
ass
didn't-
to the side.
we didn't
I'll
have
get
the
the Uber,
tacos,
babes.
okay? We didn't have the tacos. There was no
she
farting.
honey dicked you with the tacos.
She did.
Oh, that was
We're
so.
going to
There
get
was no
beer and
farting.
wings.
But
No,
she
she
did
was a
hate
cool
though.
girl. She was a cool girl.
she was a cock
She
block.
didn't.
Sounds
She
like-
didn't have a cutoff shirt.
But she did
she had
tell you
regular
after
shirt.
I left, she said, "That guy seems like bad news."
She
right?
said he's a bad guy.
he
That's
is.
what
There you
she
go.
said.
He's a bad guy.
He made,
First
you
of
pay,
all, lucky
he made
guess.
you pay for a fucking HIV test.
I did not make her pay.
He paid. He paid.
You're paying.
He paid.
Okay,
He
okay.
paid.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Now
she
let me ask you
hated
this:
him.
Did you?
When are you going to go back there? I bet she shows up.
Oh, I've
Okay,
been back there
motherfucker.
many times. We have not seen her yet.
We haven't seen her.
But
We
no,
parted
she was
ways.
cool. Look,
She was
I'm
cool.
not hating
Coming
on her at
now.
all. She had game, and she had a lot of game.
She had
and
a
she
lot of
was
game.
fucking aggressive.
Wait, did you guys did you get an Uber? Did you share a car with her back?
No.
Okay.
Lesbian or not lesbian, this is just it's like when she could have been a guy, she could have been a girl, but like I could tell she was doing whatever a guy would have been doing, a girl trying to be the friend, but she's whatever being
Secretly
nice,
throwing
not
shade.
not realizing
Like he looks like he has herpes.
Like
I'm
with
gonna
everything,
be
there's a
honest.
spectrum, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have gay women that are more masculine in their
Yeah.
approach. You have
Yeah.
gay women that are way more feminine in their approach, and everything in between.
You know what reminded me of?
just
This is
like
a move
with-
every guy's used. I've actually gotten in a fist fight because of this. Seen somebody pull this move on a
Oh,
girlfriend of
wow.
mine. You know, like when I'm also an incredible fighter and athlete.
But you
were
and
wrestling?
Brian both.
I played 1 year of wrestling. That was great. But
I
you know,
played 1 year. All right, keep going.
Keep going.
I'm so depressed.
No, it was awesome.
I played
1 year of wrestling school, wrestling fight, and it was like, you know, when you're a guy, you like give a girl a hug, and you do the like, you know, you do the hug, and then you kind of try to hold on to the hips, and you sort of do like the slow pivot
to see if it's there,
see if your faces can line up. That was kind of what she was doing conversationally. She was just sort of positioning herself. Anyway, the last fight I got in, I remember I seen this guy, but an old girlfriend of mine. They were walking out of this place. And I was like, I just don't like the way that this guy. She's walking him to his car. It was like, you know, a party, and he was a friend. I was like, I just don't like the strut this guy has. So I said to my friend, I'm like, let's just walk out and see what happens. You know, I was hammered at the time. I don't drink anymore, but I used to drink a lot. And this guy did the hug and kind of like slowly did it over, and out of nowhere, I just blindsided him and punched him in the face.
Oh, was that your girl or was your ex girl?
That was my girlfriend.
Oh, it was your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just blindside him, hit him.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
The thing that I have like been in very few fights where I've been successful. Usually I've been like drunk and someone socks me in the face. I'm like, well, I'm not never doing that again. This time I landed a real punch and his eye was just like boom.
Yeah.
And it was just like.
You fuck with if you try to kiss my girl, you're gonna lose an eye.
You fucked up.
And it was like that, like instant, like
You're
I'm gonna
next,
throw
Lesbo.
up feeling, and I just like ran off. And then he emailed me. My aunt is like a big time criminal defense attorney, so he emailed me like, I'm gonna go to the cops on this. And my aunt goes like, if he goes to the cops and says I kissed a guy's girlfriend and he punched me in the face, they will just laugh him out.
Cops are regular
They will just
dudes.
laugh
Like,
at him.
don't kiss other people's girls.
They're like, yeah, bro. So you learn your lesson or what?
They're just like, people forget they're regular dudes.
There was an article in the New York Times about a guy who said he was a battered male and his wife hits him a lot. And he went to the cops in New York City. He goes to New York
New
City
York
cops.
City cops?
And they all, he said, and he wrote in the article, he goes, and I went in there and they started laughing at me. And they wouldn't take
That's
me
fucked
seriously.
out, though.
It reminds me of that
It could
South
be like
Park.
an Orbit situation.
Well, no, I've been
I've
punched
seen
in the face by a
guys-
girlfriend before. It was no joke. I mean, like it hurt enough to be like, oh. Like,
I've had 2 physically violent girlfriends.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I've
I didn't
seen,
go to the cops, but it was tough.
I didn't go to the cops, but it is a weird thing where you're like, oh, you're not incapable of causing damage.
Yeah.
Like that kind of hurt. You know?
I've definitely seen men with issues because of abusive like women
For
in
sure.
their lives, and particularly
And this is the
because
problem.
you get like somebody who's emotionally abusive, and then they're controlling you, and then something during like intimacy or like we talk about breaking your penis, right? Like that person's specifically trying to move during sex to like break.
No
the penis.
way.
Yeah. Yes.
Women are trying to like
definitely heard
do like
it.
a suplex on your dick during sex.
Like, I'm going to get on top of you and I'm going to come down on the wrong way. And I'm not saying that's like a really common thing, but I've definitely heard
There's
about
some
it.
bad seeds.
That's
out there.
a skill.
Yeah. So you can
Vagina
be
assassin.
hurt. You know, like a woman can hurt you. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's just the dynamic.
Yeah, my,
And, like,
my buddy broke his dick. He was, I told him to film it for me because this girl wanted it so rough. And he was an NFL player, huge dude,
Yeah.
6'7", 260 pounds, shredded. And he's like, dude, this girl wants it so hard. I'm like, dude, film that shit. And we were younger. And he filmed it. And he would back up. He's an NFL player. And he would sprint at her. And she'd be doggy style.
Oh, no.
And he did that and missed the hole and hit her ass cheek. And his dick went kikoosh to the right.
Wow.
That's
So
the
they
mo-
called old Dr. Schaub in, and I came in and I go, let me see it. And it was like all curved and had these huge grapefruit
Eggplant?
balls.
Eggplant.
Yeah, and I went, dude, this is easy. You just got to line it back up. I'm going to walk out. You jack off.
Like Mel
It's gonna
Gibson
line
and
it
Lethal
up.
Weapon, you got to pop it back into place. That's
what he
so the
did.
next time
No,
you did, was
no.
it like
I had to rush him to the emergency room.
Yes,
and the next
good.
time
Internal bleeding. I rushed him to the emergency room. Then a dick doctor came in, and I was like, he was like, look at me. He goes, so what exactly were you two doing? I'm like, well, no, fuck no. Come on, bro.
Oh, no
That was
way.
a girl. He's like,
Oh, that's awesome.
You have to when you do
That's
that move, you
awesome.
have to start out like when you take a kid bowling and they put the little bumpers up.
Dude.
You got to put that
You
little
can't-
bumper up so
yeah.
when they sprint, they make sure they fall.
He
right
was
in the
doing
ball.
that, and then this girl was like, no. He's like, all right, bitch, I'm at the fucking 94 blast your ass.
94.
That's the most
That's
common
a
way.
football term, by the way, yeah.
That's the most common way it happens.
By
So, like,
doggy style.
what are
not
the
by
other?
sprinting, but from coming from behind. A guy coming at a girl from behind
force.
and missing
The
Yeah.
force.
and hitting against the sit bone there.
What-
right?
as a
Like,
female,
you
would that even feel
What's the
Yeah.
other? Give me some other common penis surgeries that you find yourself doing.
Okay, so the penile prosthesis, the curved surgery. The curved surgery, there's another kind we didn't talk about, but doing a graft where basically we can take like a patch of your skin from your stomach and like patch it down in there.
Yeah.
So that's another one.
Tell them about the one you said with the meth guy.
So
This was intense.
if people get their penis strangulated So, like, if you leave your penis in, like, something for
In
too
a
long,
noose.
in a noose, in, like, if you
Tight
fall asleep
underwear.
with a cock ring and, like, don't take it off for way too long, like,
Sure,
right?
standard.
So, yeah, so somebody who got their penis stuck in a soda bottle for a few days. And
Like a Coke bottle?
yeah, like a single serve.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, none of it is good. None of it is
just
ideal.
break the bottle. Like, Karen.
No, I,
Yeah. But you got to break it around the cock, and that's a problem.
How are you gonna break the ring of one of
You're
those
not-
plastic bottles?
No.
Impossible.
You-
Impossible, dude.
All right, so go
you
on.
have to. They have to come to the emergency room, and basically we have to like use a like an orthopedic bone saw on that stuff sometimes because you want to. Because you don't want to like just hack at it because then you're gonna like
It's
go
a manual
through and
process.
through. Yeah,
You got to. It's
Yeah.
like a dinosaur bone when you're sort of uncovering the
Gentle.
dinosaur. You gotta
Yes,
be very
gentle.
gentle.
Very gentle.
only-
With Lorraine Bobbitt, when she cut off
Oh, yeah.
Billy Wayne Bobbitt's dick and they were able to reattach it, how
Yeah.
do you do that?
awesome question. So just like with the penis transplants, it's the
Yeah.
same idea because that's what we call actually an auto transplant, meaning you're just transplanting something back on yourself,
Yeah.
right? It came off, come back on. So you hook up, right? Like we were saying, there's the two chambers, right? Your penis is like three things. It's the two erection chambers and the urethra. So you just make sure to like sew the end of one chamber back to one, the end of the other chamber back to the other, and the urethra back to one, right? And then ideally you want to be able to feel the thing too. So you have to find the nerve.
That would be
And
the
you have to-
difficult part, I bet.
And exactly. And that's the hardest part. Like you can put it back on, but the question is going to feel like anything.
You got to attach the nerve.
The nerve and the blood vessels. Because otherwise, if there's no flow there, you're also not going to get
You're
an
in deep
erection.
shit. So that's a
So-
very elaborate process.
Oh, for sure.
How do you do that? You pull them out and attach them
Can you
before
give us an hour breakdown on how you do that?
It's so nuts.
Well, to go into it in depth. no.
Yes, please do.
If you were going to do like a really amazing job with that, you're either going to use like a magnifying glasses,
Yeah.
like
and you have to know the dick.
yeah.
Well, as
oh, for
practice,
sure.
I will allow her just to sort of inspect my penis on like a.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so sort of an extracurritor before she goes in.
To help her.
Just
Right.
to help her. Just
Right.
just
Mental
allow her-
preparedness.
10,000 hours in.
Hey, Barry Bonds used to go to the batting cages a lot, you know, and the statistics
I
speak for themselves.
understand.
Some current events
I was
with
going to
them,
say
dude?
this has been most enlightening.
I got to
wanna-
pee before we
good.
do current
Yeah,
events.
I want to
Yeah.
thank you guys. I want
Yeah.
to thank you guys.
Well, thank you guys for letting us, come in.
Are they doing current events with us?
It's
or
up
no?
to you. It's up to you.
Whatever you guys want.
All right.
do it.
Let me pee real quick.
All right,
you
let's
guys
do it.
decide.
Perfect.
Oh, I love it.
Great, Chin. Let's take a pee. Go and pee. Let's do some current events. Current events. It's time for current. Time for current events. What do we got?
Oh, this is sad.
So, Stanley passed away this morning.
Stanley had a philosophy behind his characters. You know, Stanley had a philosophy behind life. Stanley was a genuine, real writer. There's a difference there. And I think one of the reasons that those characters stick with us is they're conflicted and they're real people. They may be superheroes, but they're real, right? So Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. There was always a philosophy behind it. And the philosophy was always pointing toward good. And I think you were talking about, I think the reason the Wolverine was sort of the first big hit because why? Do you know why?
No, Spider-Man was.
No, Wolverine. No, I'm saying in the movies, Wolverine was such a hit because it was the first time they had a superhero that killed people. Wolverine killed people.
Yeah, most time
I
they
didn't
wouldn't show. Like
realize that.
Spider-Man never killed anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he pushed that guy.
That's why they've always struggled with the Punisher. Because in the comic books, he was just like, I'll just murder people all the time.
Yeah.
And they can't ever
No.
do that. They
No.
just,
Did you see the series on Netflix? He fucks dudes.
Yeah.
I struggle with that one.
But yeah, not to this extent.
to the
they
same
should.
glee of,
Yeah.
you know.
Most hardcore fans think Punisher should be like
He should be like a psychopath. Like, he should be like a guy who was like...
Murder everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
But
a
those
super
guys
game.
never captured the wide embrace. You know, there's still that idea of like, you know,
Superman,
you're on
Spider-Man.
you're on the side of good, which means you don't behave like your enemy behaves.
Right.
You don't become them. You always have the higher moral ground. And Stan Lee's characters all had the higher moral ground and held to it, even when it was inconvenient.
It's finding a way, I think what Stan Lee was so good about it is like, or any of the heroes that are great, is find a way to make them all powerful, but also super vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason Superman 2, the originals, was the best one because he lost his powers and we could really relate to
And
his
they had
struggle.
relationship problems.
Yeah.
Peter Parker, they had loves, but they couldn't commit because they had a bigger responsibility. So they were lonely characters. They were lonely. They couldn't ever have a girlfriend, but they wanted one badly. It was
Yeah,
all that shit.
Batman's basically a stand-up comedian, right? Just always sort of alone. Basically,
Weird dude.
just weird, alone.
Works at night only.
Only at night, you know. He's
But
sort of like
he's a
no
successful
relationships
one.
can relax because he's always alone.
But he's a baller.
The Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
Right.
What
He's
else you
also
got, Jen?
superhuman. He's human. I mean, what I mean is that he's not.
No, Batman has no special powers.
Right.
Zero.
He had a tough
his
childhood.
brain.
You know,
His
so
mom and dad died.
both
They're
his
rich
parents
as
were kind of
shit.
distant growing up.
Probably has Peyronie's
77
disease.
hours to fly from Florida to London on his journey from hell. That's a
Oh
long
my
time.
God.
Yeah, so a British Airways flight got delayed on its initial day Thursday. And it got delayed on the, what's it called, the runway
Yeah.
for 4 hours. They had to take everybody out, and they tried to accommodate to everybody by putting them up in hotels, but it was early in the morning with a big rush. They couldn't get everybody to a room. And they were able to get a new flight on Saturday, but there was something wrong with the plane. So it took them an hour and a half to get to New York from Orlando. They stayed in New York, and they couldn't accommodate to hotels because the New York Marathon was happening that same weekend.
All booked, yeah.
Yeah, so people were sleeping in the airport.
What a
And finally, Saturday, they were able to get back to London.
I mean, if London's home, you have to deal with it, but I would have just been like, you know what, fuck it. It's not in the cards for me. It's not happening.
Not happening.
I hate, and this is the thing about like United or American. Whenever it's late, I'm always like, man, fuck these guys. But complain to them. They go, cool, man. We don't give
fly
a
us."
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do. Complain to customer service, like, very cool, man. We have 70 other people who want to buy a fucking
Dude,
flight.
I got fucking so heated at Delta the other day. I literally got banned from Delta for 24 hours.
You did?
Because I didn't realize there's this crazy rule where if you buy a round trip ticket and you don't show up for the first half,
Yeah.
they cancel the ticket.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that because I feel like I'm giving you a favor. Now I'm paying for a seat. You know.
Oh, they canceled the whole
Yeah.
thing.
So I come back. 'Cause
That's
I had
kinda weird.
It's weird.
It's
It
a
doesn't make-
9/11 thing. It's
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it's a security issue.
I
I've
don't
already
get
gotten
it. So,
into
but they don't warn you. They don't know that shit. So I had a gig in San Jose, and I ended up driving up with a friend, and I had my ticket back. So I show up, and the guy's like, "All right, we're well, no, you're not on the flight. We canceled." I'm like, "You didn't tell me that." He goes, "Well, we canceled." I go, "All right, let me talk to your supervisor." And the supervisor, like, clearly was just like, he went in there. He didn't start at 0. He came in at 60. He
He's
just
ready
comes
to
in.
go.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, the fuck is this shit?" He's like, you know, he's just yelling at me. So I go, "All right, listen, I'll fucking buy another ticket back." I gave him my credit card. Like, he swiped it. I go, "And what's your name? Because I want to report you. I think you've been really fucking disrespectful." And he goes, "All right, that's it. Now you're not taking this ticket back." And he takes it back. And I go, "All right, we'll give my money back." He goes, "No." I'm like, "Well, I'm not paying for 2 tickets I don't use."
fuck?
So I go, "Call fucking cops. Call fucking cops. All right, call the cops right here and now." And the cops show up, and he stole my cop call like he had made the cop call. So he goes, "This is why I called you guys. This guy's getting out of control." You know, he's like, and I was like,
crazy.
I was like, "No, officer." And you know, cops don't fuck around. The cop's like, "Do not talk. Do
Especially
not
at
talk."
the airport, yeah.
So I'm like, and then the cop basically deals with the guy, goes, "Give him his money back. You are banned from Delta for the day."
Wow.
It was like some hardcore shit. You realize, like, when you get heat in these moments, like, one false move, you're the guy getting arrested. in the airport.
I don't get mad because I know, like, I get
don't win.
frustrated, but, like, go to Southwest, I'm like, dude, you're fucking an hour and a half late. They're like, yeah, we are. Like, it's fucked up. Like, yeah, what are you going to do?
They got that cable company kind of cockiness. They're like,
It's like, man, where are you going to go?
Walk
You have
then,
to fly
fucker,
either
walk.
us,
Yeah.
United, fucking South, whatever you want to do. Frontier, like, there's only 5 of us.
Bought my girlfriend you'll like this. I bought my girlfriend we was taking her to Europe, and I bought us both business class seats. Couldn't afford first class because they're $20,000. Business class seats, I don't know how much it cost. Let's just say this was 12, 13 years ago, and I didn't have the money, and it cost me $5,000 or something a ticket. I don't know. It was, but I got it all lined up, and I got friends in Europe, so I had a whole itinerary. We're going to go because I love this girl. She had a drug problem. She fucked somebody. Anyway, the point is, and she went back off the wagon and started doing drugs again. The point is, I broke up with her.
good thing you didn't go first class.
Oh no, I broke up with her and I fucking I moved her out of my house. That was fun. I won't go into that. But then I decided, you know what? I'm going to get my money back. I'm going to get my money back. Cancel the tickets, of course. Get my money back, and I'm going to transfer those to someone else, to another girl. The guy goes, "Well, you can't do that." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "No, you can't. The ticket. This is a non-refundable ticket. She can use it though for another trip."
Oh my God.
And I go, "Well, no, because she's a fucking piece of shit, so I want my money. No, it's not refundable. We can transfer it to her. I go,
That's
I start to
crazy.
freak
That's
out.
how it is today.
This guy goes like this. The guy, it's so funny how he shut me up. I go, give me one reason. He goes, I'll give you 3 numbers. I go, what, with 3 numbers? He goes, yeah, I'll give you 3. Okay. And he goes, 911. In other words, 9/11.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much. And so she took that ticket. And she went.
Oh my god!
No, fuck that. You
To
can't
Europe.
just cancel it. You can't say we're
No,
just.
there's
Not only did she go to Europe.
There's insurance now. You can pay for
Yeah.
it. It's like $40 extra, $100 extra. There's insurance where
Yep.
you can do that now.
She then called me and said,
like Sarah
just so you
Marshall.
know, I fucked a rugby player.
No.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I was like, yes. Anyway.
So was there more to this breakup? Because why would she have cheated on you and still be angry at you?
No, she was a drug addict, but she was awesome. We're friends now. She was just,
She sounds great.
She was
yeah.
just in the
You
darkness.
should be friends with
I wish
her.
I could have
What
gone
else
on
you
that
got,
She was in
Chin?
the darkness. She's a great person. She was just
So a Dutch man is suing to lower his age legally, and he's trying to argue that it's the same as changing your gender.
I love it.
And his
Great.
main reason is because it'll help him with his job prospects and Tinder.
He's not lying. It will help him in all that. But
Well, on
you can't lie
IMDb
about your age.
No, IMDb, these actors, IMDb is like the showbiz website, and it lists people's ages. And all these actors and actresses sued them, saying you can't list our ages because it fucks up our job prospects.
Oh, wow.
Everyone lies about their age in this town, and so IMDb won the lawsuit, and they're like, no, they can say your age. Even if it fucks you up.
fucking age.
But people go down to Mexico. I know actors have gone to Mexico, got fake IDs, like real deal, shit. I don't know why they went to Mexico, but that's where they got them. And so they can, because it's such a currency. Like, it really is a currency. I remember going in for a pilot one time, and with the guy who created Everybody Loves Raymond, and it was fucking great. The guy was supposed to be 28. I was probably like 33 at the time. And I killed it. He's like, great. He goes, I just out of curiosity, how old are you? And I said, for some reason, I just didn't lie. And then the feedback, of course, I got was, he's just, he's a little old.
But listen. I could so I take care of myself, and you know what I get? Sometimes people go, I'm 51, and they go, you look like you're in your late 40s. That's the most I get.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Well,
so fuck off. I still look like
Well,
I'm
at 51.
No,
he's
it's so
talking
true.
33, 28.
No, it's so true. Like
It's not necessarily comparable, but I understand your point.
Yeah.
Close. I mean, you look every bit at 51.
When you're 33, you're probably not going to be able to play 23.
I think
Sometimes
You play
can.
28, though.
Yeah.
Well, what about 90210, the original Beverly Hills? Those guys were like they're late, like Dylan McKay and Brandon. These guys were like
They were
30.
not in high school.
For
yeah.
a long time, I got away with playing much younger than I was for a long time. And then Father Time comes in and goes, we're going to start cracking your face up a little bit.
And the internet.
And the internet.
No, I have all these guys, they're like, oh, you're too young to do this job. I cannot possibly believe you could do this job. And they're like, you must be like 32. It's like, I'm 34. Like, it's not like,
Yeah.
I started med school, I don't know, 13 years ago.
Where'd you
like,
go?
it's not in New Jersey, Rutgers.
Good school.
I'm
Thanks.
fine with a surgeon being
But-
young because you're nimble and stuff. What I'm not okay with is psychologists that I've gone to who are young. I went to one who was younger than me, and it's like, fuck this.
the problem.
There's no way
You're not
have
more
the-
wise than
you
me?
haven't dealt
Life
with the
experience,
pain.
yeah.
I
Like,
agree.
your dad cut you off the gas card last year, and you
Yeah.
know what depression's about. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
I agree.
bullshit.
I agree.
But a surgeon, you want someone young and nimble, right?
Well, they also say you want somebody who's older, too, because they've done so many of them.
More
right?
experience.
That's,
yeah.
no,
More
for
reps.
sure.
More reps.
The thing with this and the problems with like changing an ID, right, is just not safe. Like, if you come in, right, for like healthcare,
Oh, yeah.
like, I need to know what your real age is. Like, it's not about you. It's like about helping you.
Even if it's
you
only
know?
by
And,
5
like,
years.
Medication.
Yeah.
Like 10, 15, sure, but 5? It's not like
this guy wants
20 years.
Well, no, this guy's full. This guy's batshit.
So-
He's going to come in.
Like-
You're
This
going to
guy's
go. You're going to go.
He's
hey,
gonna be having
sir.
a heart attack. You're gonna like.
he wants to be
yeah.
40. I guess not 40. If you went 49, I'm like, Jesus
Meanwhile,
Christ.
the Grim Reaper's up there like, just so you know, I'm sticking with the original age. You're not going to fool me with your fucking new
Father
age.
Time doesn't care.
Yeah.
What else you got?
He's a positivity
So,
trainer, by
an
the way.
exec over at Victoria's Secret did a interview with Vogue, finally addressing why they don't have any trans models or plus size models. And his whole thing was it's a 42-minute long fantasy show, and that people don't have an interest in seeing plus size models or trans.
He's not
models.
lying.
That would
Yeah,
be true.
correct.
That would be true.
That'd be true for the straight males, which
for
is their
every-
demo.
for everybody, Brendan.
Well, no, not for everybody.
For a lot of women too. The point is that these are the most beautiful women in the world. They're the most they're freaks. When we see them, you go, "Holy fuck!" Because they're so unique and so physically beautiful. And that's just what that particular runway is for that. There can be a runway for the other things, but in this case, this has always been the angels. This has always been a specific kind of aesthetic. So just because it doesn't have room for other aesthetics doesn't mean it's discriminatory.
Are you saying there's no room for fat angels?
That is correct.
But I think you make a
I don't want a fat
point.
angel.
No, but you make a good point. Like no one is saying this is the average woman runway. This is the top. That'd be like if they're like, hey, how come one guy in the Lakers doesn't look like Jonah Hill?
Right.
Okay.
You know, there should be one guy who just dribbles off his foot every time, so we all feel like we belong there.
But
We need
hasn't,
more
like-
white guys.
Yeah.
Hasn't like Sports Illustrated put like Ashley Graham on the cover? Like, did people think that was
and
hot?
some guys think it's hot. I do. I actually think
Yeah.
so.
I think she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like-
she's also, I don't know if she's the most healthiest
Bring her
person
up.
on earth.
Yeah.
Bring her up.
Like, I think
But
probably,
also-
guys would probably like seeing that meat coming down
Some guys
the
love it.
Victoria's Secret
You
thing.
knew.
Like, I don't.
You met a
like,
comic who was heavy, very heavy, and you said something. She said something to you like, "Just can't deal with all the dick thrown my way." And you go, "No way." And she said, "Just watch." Right. And then after the show, she was getting
Yeah.
Well, this is we were talking about this because we were just in LA, and Mo and I were talking about the difference between the way the women
Miami.
sorry, and the difference between the way the women are like showing their bodies there versus here.
In Miami?
You know? Yeah, in Miami.
That's
It's
such
like-
a Latin influence, and they're a little more sexual and open-minded.
I think it's so
Yeah.
much sexier than the women in LA. Like it's just
a lot of women in LA don't have those bodies. They
They don't
wear
have
that
those
same
bodies.
shit.
But also, there's like
Right.
this certain kind of like puritanical hotness to a lot of the way women. I sort of like the clothes
They
are so
drip
expensive.
sex. Yeah.
I don't know. I think in Miami they drip sex more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, LA,
Yeah.
they're sort of like,
She's-
we're going to see what your bank account
No,
is.
so Ashley Graham to me is smoking hot.
Yes.
She's not.
You know why?
She's
Small
one.
waist, big
She's
butt.
one Twinkie away from like, all right, let's get on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But she's like balancing that, which I find
100%.
sexy.
Right.
But if you line her up next to those Victoria's supermodels,
Yeah.
and she goes on that runway, everyone's like, okay, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
All right.
like it's just not.
who let the usher on stage?
Yeah, it's like putting a
She
Prius
is
on
fucking
F1.
gorgeous,
It's not-
by the way.
She's
very beautiful.
gorgeous. Yes.
So also the idea that beauty is socially learned and stuff. I actually, the evolutionary biologists and evolutionary psychologists disagree with
Totally
that.
not true. I think it's totally not
Science
true.
is pretty clear that men prefer a lot of times a hip to waist ratio of a certain measurement. Big eyes, full lips, that shit is delicious, and men are drawn to that. And by the way, if you have a disagreement with that, you might want to take a look at how much those women make on the open market. And the reason they make that much money is because everybody wants to fuck them,
Also-
including other women, by the way.
Well, they've done this. I remember in psychology class in college, they talked about the study where even babies are built to be superficial. Like if you
Well,
show
they're
a
drawn to
baby,
symmetrical faces.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Pretty people, they're more.
Yeah, like
Well,
they're really like fucking little. They come out like little,
fact.
little fucking.
And nobody wants to hear that. And
Because
so when
ugly people are the ones who are the loudest. Like, no, we need fat people on the runway. On Twitter. Ugh.
Well, when they put that woman on the front,
true.
That sounded a lot like your lesbian impression.
I know, man.
Well,
They're the
You
same
are,
person.
You are really not exactly
She's a hater,
Jonathan
too.
Winters with this range of voices.
no, she's hot.
She's hot, but it's not even. It's not comparable. It's like I can also dribble. LeBron James can really dribble.
Correct.
Like it's just not the same.
There are some guys that prefer that, by the way. There are some guys that prefer.
Yeah, I used to
her
watch
over-
Comic View in the '90s myself.
Yeah,
Every other joke was,
very hot.
I like big women. Yeah, I like a woman so big. You remember that? Those old
I'm
comics.
sure that there are certain ethnicities that favor a larger woman versus a smaller woman, all dependent. Yeah.
What else you guys got?
Oh, this
So
is great.
Pete Davidson apologizes for the joke that he made on SNL by having the Lieutenant Dan Crenshaw on SNL.
It was great.
good
Did
for
you see
this
this?
guy. I love
really
this.
funny.
I love this.
Play that video. It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Last week, I made a joke about a picture of you, and I feel like it would only be fair if you got me back and made fun of a picture of me. Does that sound okay?
I don't really need to do that.
No, come on. I deserve it.
All right, I'll do one.
Please? All right.
And now, first impressions with Lieutenant Commander Dan Crenshaw.
Thanks, Colin. This is Pete Davidson. He looks like if the meth from Breaking Bad was a person.
So good.
So there, we're even. All right.
Hold on, one more. This is.
All right.
He looks like a troll doll with a tapeworm.
Yeah, man. All right, that's good. We should wrap this up.
Oh, hold on. No, this is fun. This is fun.
Cool.
He looks like Martin Short in the Santa Claus 3.
Very good.
One of these people was actually good on SNL.
This guy's got pretty good timing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
He got him back the best when his ringtone went off and it was his ex-girlfriend singing. Yeah.
Pete Davidson lived in my building in L.A. when he first moved here and got kicked out within a month for smoking too much weed. You know how much weed you got to have wafted out of your apartment to get kicked out of a building in Hollywood? And then,
you know MB?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Really good guy, man. So funny, too.
Great
man.
guy. Yeah, super talented.
He's one of those guys where you're like, wait, he's this young and this successful. You want to be like, fuck that guy. And you watch him like, I get it. Yeah, he's just better. He's just better. Yeah.
What else you got?
This one. That music teacher. I'm sure you saw the fight already when he was beating up this kid in class.
Have you seen this? No. He gets in a fight
Well, check out this beating first.
This beating.
We'll start with that.
So he's the teacher. This is a student. They start scrapping in front of all the kids.
I can't believe it.
So the kid's calling him a bunch of names, racist names.
He's calling them the N-word.
Yeah, most likely. So he continues to taunt him, and then the teacher just throws a strike.
Jeez.
It's weird because the teacher threw first.
Yeah.
Why did he throw first? Well,
after a while, this fucking asshole.
Someone said he threw a basketball at him first.
The kid hit him with a basketball?
And the kid was being threatening.
It's also like, what does it feel like? I don't know. When you're in that environment with all those
kids. Needs a
kids.
fucking beating.
So he doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
Well, yeah, he's getting real hit, but the teacher's done. I mean, he threw first.
This kid's attacking him, and kids are dangerous, man.
So there's a person that works at the school trying to spread him out, and then he still comes back at the kid.
Yeah,
It's just a shame that this is what schools are now. Like,
hey, fuck that. I had a teacher shove me into the wall in 8th grade.
Yeah, but not this.
No, physically shove me into the wall. Yeah, and
this is another level.
This is another level. Yeah.
I just felt like we were so mad at school. Like we weren't so mad like that.
So he did go to jail, but then he bailed out, and then someone started a GoFundMe account for him.
The students did.
I think it was like some neighbor or something like that.
Was it? I heard the other students.
But there's students, there's teachers that took his side, and some people took the kid's side. But
he's probably a loved student.
Yeah, everyone says he's a great teacher.
And I
don't know if he's fired yet.
Being a shitty kid.
But check out this GoFundMe account. Their goal was $50,000. It's already up to $182,000
awesome.
plus.
I need to go out there and punch a kid in the face.
I'm gonna start fucking kids.
Yeah, we're right by a school, right? Let's just go over there and beat the fuck out of some kids.
The teacher gets all that money.
Yeah,
sick.
That's 96 years of being a teacher.
It's fantastic.
That's better than most UFC fighters.
I don't agree. You think that was acceptable?
No, that's not.
He just says thank you.
I'm sure he regrets.
It's not like his life is great.
Anyways,
I wish this video looked like a rap video, just throwing fucking money all over the place. Shit, he's got the PTA.
He rips a promo.
Their asses
He rips a promo. Who else wants some?
He's got the lunch lady just shaking her tits in his face.
Kids nowadays are. Well, they all
you can't physically hit the kids though.
I don't know.
No, but I'll tell you, this is a true story. In 8th grade, I said to a teacher, he goes, "You're a bad student," and I said, "You're a shitty teacher," and he shoved me into the wall in front of the class.
That's
and
crazy.
This is back in the day. I told my parents, and they were like, "You're probably being obnoxious."
I would have said
and that was
the
the
same thing.
end of that. That was the end of it. There's no lawsuit.
Shoving's a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Still pretty fucking. If you think a teacher shoves it
compared to this, dude.
But still, you shove a kid today, you're done.
You're fucked.
But
You're done. The parents are faking a neck injury. They sue the whole fucking school.
But if those were two kids reacting, right? Even if one person was taunting, you would still tell the other kid like you should have walked away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so why
That's
is
just a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
And it's not like that's a big kid. By the
Who
way.
knows what he's?
He's a
I
scrawny
think
little
kids can
kid.
get you so crazy sometimes like that. I mean, I don't know.
Were you,
Some
as a
shitty
teacher, you
kid.
physically beat him up?
I think everybody has their moment, man. I really do.
I hope my teachers don't that teach my kid. I hope not.
But I'm also going to teach my kid not to be a fucking disrespectful.
Oh, for
shit.
sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So
that kid looked like he's been going through hard times too. You know,
Everybody's
those
going
guys been going through hard times.
No, the kid.
The
It seems
kid
like the
probably
kid's
had-
probably
Oh,
been
I'm
like
sure his whole
bullied or
life isn't
something.
great if
Exactly.
he's talking shit
like,
like that.
It's a tough one, man. It's
you know, it's like France. They have made it like outlawed all cell phones in all schools, like the whole country.
Good. Like 100% that should be the case.
Because you just think like, I mean, and it's great
Wait,
that
what
this
did you
is
say? Sorry, I was reading that.
No, yeah, in France, there's no like the president in France made
Macron.
made all cell phones in all schools just totally illegal.
That's smart.
Yeah. I mean, you just think about what's going on now, right?
it's
like,
terrible.
like and I almost wonder to what extent, like, all the kids are videoing. Some kid goes up in front, he's like acting crazy, and you're like, there's these theatrics to like what's happening in school.
That
Like,
kid
it ends
knows
up on
it's gonna
social
go
media.
viral, yeah. World
it's
star.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny because you make a point. Like if this had happened when we were in high school,
Nobody
this would
could
be
care.
a he said, she said.
Yeah.
But now with cell phones, it's like, nope, you're guilty. Like it's 100%.
But it's also fucked up because we didn't see the context before. They started
Correct.
filming right when they stood
Right.
up, start
Correct.
talking shit.
Correct.
So did the kid keep taunting him, throwing pencils? Who knows?
Like, I had this chick in high school, right? Thank you for not breeding on my locker.
Really?
And just like, yeah, just like hated me and just like this chick. I always wish I had like a sister. I could be like, Marcy, go beat the fuck out of this chick.
Yeah.
Because as a guy, you can't do anything in that regard. But that girl deserved to have her ass beat.
I feel like
Yeah.
Cat, you could throw down. I feel like Cat's
Cat looks
athletic.
feisty.
Yeah, Cat will fucking punch you in the face.
like
right?
Miho from Sin City.
Yeah, you can just get my sister to beat up some girls, Mo. She's
Your sister's pretty feisty.
my younger sister's crazy.
yeah.
She can
Bull
beat up
bunt.
anybody.
Cat looks
Yeah.
athletic. Do you ever throw down? You're Vietnamese, so. They're not taking a shit.
No, I have found that confrontation scares people enough.
Oh, there you go. If you get in their face.
What else you got, Chin? Cat?
You sent me this article.
I did?
Yeah. Some woman that drank.
Oh, you want to talk
Kratom
about it on
tea
here? Yeah, come on,
while pregnant.
Bring it,
And then,
addict.
then this article says then her newborn went into withdrawal.
But then the
right?
article continues to list how a lot of babies are being born as addicts because the parents take Kratom and they think it's natural and it's tea
Yeah.
and they're fine. But
No, so
hold on, before the addict starts
All right,
talking. So he takes Kratom every day.
I do
It's
take
never weaned
Kratom.
off. Do you know anything about Kratom?
I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
That's
I mean,
kind of the-
but
yeah.
that's one of the problems, right?
Yeah.
Like something
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that sort of potency usually is like vetted by the FDA, like so extensively, right? And
Yeah.
it's just not.
Chin thinks it's a big conspiracy.
I agree. No,
theory
I
and the
think
big
it
pharma
should be
behind
studied,
it.
but the FDA is taking that off the table too. So, anyway, so this article came out, and this is like only 2 cases that they know of where they felt like this is a possibility that the kid is, having withdrawals or the newborn's having withdrawals. So this woman in particular was on OxyContin or oxycodone for 7 years prior. Right?
But did she stop when she became
That's
pregnant?
what they said. Yeah. So they said that
Yeah,
she went to Kratom because of that. Like she didn't want to be on oxycodone. But let me ask you guys. I would take Kratom, but if I was pregnant, I'm not taking Kratom. Just like I wouldn't take marijuana or
But if she's
or
on
wine or
OxyContin
anything.
for 7 years, it's that
She
or
sounds
die.
like she's a drug addict.
Yeah, she's a drug addict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's a
Well,
drug
okay.
Should the Kratom, that's how powerful Kratom is, though, Chin. This is my takeaway from it. This bitch took OxyContin for 7 years every day
Codone.
and went, all right, I'm pregnant. Let's do Kratom and I'm going to get through this.
That's a good point.
Here's
It's also
the
a good
thing.
point. Like, what if the kid comes out perfectly healthy? Are you going to be a good mom? Like, if you're just that shortly
no, she's
off.
winning no awards for money.
Yeah, if you're like 6 months off being like a 7-year OxyContin addict, take a breather first.
It's that's
She's
very
definitely a
tough.
hardcore
Very
addict.
tough.
And I'm sure that's in your body, in your system, your fat, everything. So it's like part of who she is now.
To interject on this, though, it's not like it's black or white. Like, it's not like she had to be an oxy addict or on Kratom, right? Like, she could have been enrolled in, like, an appropriate rehab program, right? And narcotics, when used judiciously in pregnancy, are 100% safe. I prescribe oxycodone and Percocet to pregnant
Whoa.
women all the time.
Really?
Yes, all the time. It is safe and effective when it needs to be used. And like
And when it's used as prescribed.
But what do
Yes,
you
yes,
prescribe
but-
oxy for pregnant people?
I have women, as a urologist, women get kidney stones when they're pregnant
Yeah.
all the fucking time, and it's super annoying.
Painful.
And painful.
And painful. And so they're rolling around, and you got to deal with it. And
It doesn't affect the baby? That's such a powerful drug.
Anything that's stressful to the mom is hard on the pregnancy.
I'll tell my
for
girl,
sure.
you better bite down this piece of wood and figure it out.
But we'll give them oxycodone 100%. And like we never tell that woman she has to be in pain for the sake of her baby because she has to have that drug, right?
I've seen,
so like
I'm sure everybody in this room has seen what happens to people when they're on kidney stones. It's so horrifying.
Jay had it. That's how Jay lost all the weight. My brother had it, and it was the worst pain of his life, and they started eating healthy.
Yeah.
He used to drink all these energy drinks nonstop and sugar. And
Yeah.
he was
My
a
friend
big
has
kid.
he had one the other day, and he gets them recurrently.
Ugh.
But he's the kind of moron who's like, I just keep getting them. Like, are you going to change
I
your
know.
diet? He's
I
like,
know, you gotta
"Nope,
stop."
I'll just probably get one next year. He's a fucking idiot.
My
But
brother said it was such a painful experience.
awful.
did he have to get the stent? Because I know they have to put this what is essentially like a straw.
It's
yeah,
like
to
a
pass through.
plastic
No,
tube.
he just passed him.
Oh,
Fucking
that's good.
brutal.
My
John
dad,
Wayne
had, my
style.
dad, they hit him with sonic waves. And
Yeah.
broke apart. My dad had kidney stones like the size of your, the end of your finger. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It
that
was horrible.
sucks.
What else you got, Chin?
Oh wait, so there's more. So the guy that's really against Kratom is the FDA commissioner, Dr. Scott Gottlieb.
No, he probably has some hidden agendas. I agree with that, Chin. What
Yeah.
else
So
you
hold on. Jeez,
Here
man.
goes the addict. You're like, hold on here.
No.
I found one
It gets
So you
juicy.
can see-
research that said
You can
it's
see
actually
here.
healthy for the babies. And they're coming out smarter. 3 eyes, but smarter.
He said they've issued a variety of warnings on Kratom, called the report a tragic case of harm, and illustrates the concerns the FDA has identified about Kratom, including potential for abuse and addiction, right?
And this is according to the Kratom Institute.
No, this is the commissioner of FDA. He's also the same guy that last week I talked about that approved this new drug, Dusuvia. That's 1,000 times stronger
Yeah,
than
but that could be
morphine.
used for very important medical procedures. And again,
But the FDA commission, or the advisory commission, warned him against doing this as well because it's divertible.
Yeah, no, I think that guy's
Make case
shady.
for
I'm with you
diversion.
on that, Chin.
Kratom just needs
he's
to be
not
studied.
shady. Or he's not shady. In other words, Kratom, we all know, because we did one quick Google search.
Yeah.
We know that in Thailand, and we also know from a lot of people's actual testimony that
Right.
it's, for some people at least, a very powerfully
Yeah,
abused
definitely.
thing.
I got
Including
fucked up
Brendan
on it.
Schaub.
They're
So we
taking
know
10 pills.
Yeah,
Dude, I got-
whatever the case, we know from
Drink 10 cups of
Brendan
coffee at
Schaub
once.
and a lot of other people that we got hit up on that Kratom is kind of addictive. So I don't know that he's being shady. I think he might be responding to the evidence.
I think there's a
Doctor?
That report too said that they
Doctor?
didn't actually
Yeah.
identify it as Kratom.
How do you take it? Like, what is it?
Kratom,
like, what's
powder.
So all it is a leaf
it is.
that's dried and then crushed.
And
So
you,
Chin
so you
injects it between his
100%
toes.
You can't inject
What are you
it.
saying, though?
That's
No,
another
you 100%
misconception.
know there's nothing else there.
That's the only problem. So that's why we want to have it somewhat looked at, so we can make sure it's exactly
Hey,
what
Jim,
it is.
seems to work
So-
for you for real, and you don't
Yeah.
seem to have an addiction. So I think some people.
How
can
would
handle
we
it.
know? You've
Well,
never
listen-
known him any different.
I've never seen him. I've never seen
I know
him.
functioning alcoholics. I'm not like, just keep going, man. You seem all right.
This is the problem when something
his
lives
job well.
outside of regulation, right? You're
Yeah.
not going to
He might
know.
even be better
You're not
off
going to
of
know
it.
the quality.
Yeah, that's why
right? So they need to embrace it because otherwise you're going to live at the margins
Exactly.
with this stuff.
I agree there.
And like, yeah, I mean, I think that if they studied it, they would probably figure out how and when and why to take it and what's going to be
Mm-hmm.
safe, and then it could be integrated. But this shit is not.
You get a lot of
I've
people.
taken a lot
I
of
agree.
things like this in my life. A lot of things, these uppers and stuff like that. And
Uppers.
I'm telling you, or what it does. The
Yeah.
medications. It's the. I feel the same on that as I did taking name another drug. I feel the exact
Oxycontin.
same. Oh, exactly.
So that's the difference between me and
Yeah.
him too. I've had Norco,
Yeah.
the whatever 10 milligrams of hydrocodone. I've had hydrocodone, and completely different to me. To me, this is a really mild version of that.
Is it possible, doctor, that some people have different chemistries? So weed, a lot of people like Rogan and other people will defend weed to the end, and it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
For me, it is so ineffective. It just turns me into a zombie.
I come
can't
exactly
do it.
with you.
So it
When I
depends on
hear-
the person,
but not
it
if
works
you
for
did it
him.
enough, though.
Oh,
But if you
I
do
am
it
with you.
enough,
This is
where
the
it
worst
becomes-
drug ever.
Or it becomes, or you're comfortably numb, and you're not as productive, or you're not as whatever as you could be if you were sober. But maybe it's good for some people because they suffer from crippling.
We just had
maybe,
this the other
You-
day.
It
So
all depends.
one of my best friends from college, I was doing shows up at the Punchline, and he came to visit, and he brought his wife, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited for your wife and Ashley to hang out. And right as we were walking over to meet Ashley back at the
Oh,
hotel, his
yeah.
wife just decides to hit some weed out of a vape pen,
And she was just like,
Yes.
and then
we're
it was
like, why
like
do
she
you
was
wanna hang
talking
out?
to like a slug for the entire night.
Yeah, no, it was
I don't know
so
how anyone
awful.
smokes weed. It just fucking
For me, it takes me out.
yeah.
But you have a great point. It's not just an observation. That's like medical fact that what's important is a combination of what you're ingesting and your genetic milieu to like process things and be affected by it, right? So that's like called a variable penetrance, but basically means it acts differently in different people.
Highly effective
And-
people, including great authors and great politicians who always had some alcohol in their system all the time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of examples of that. Some people
It
can
just
handle,
depends. Everyone's
they can
different.
handle whiskey in the morning and
Yeah.
be super effective. It's just the way it is.
What I would
I
love to
know.
see, though, because I definitely agree with what you're saying to that, but what I'm curious is how long are they able to continue in their lives that creative output? My guess would be the authors who depend on that or have that, they stop putting out great
There's
work
a
as they
ceiling.
get older, and they
Stephen King talks about it. Stephen King doesn't remember writing 2 books.
Yeah, but that motherfucker wrote
way.
a million
And
good
he said,
books.
yeah, and he said,
even if he was sober, he would have forgotten some of his
Stephen
fucking
King got
books.
sober finally.
Yeah.
Got hit by a car, almost killed. But Stephen King got sober. Stephen King said, I don't give credit to my substance abuse problem for the great books I wrote. He said, I happen to have been a very creative person who also had a substance abuse problem.
Absolutely.
Now, he happens to be so fucking creative that he could drink a case of beer a day at set and do all the cocaine or whatever it was, and still write Cujo and have it be a bestseller. That's how amazing.
A little
that
movie
guy
called Shawshank Redemption. Did you know he wrote that?
Yeah, I know that one is like an outlier.
Yeah, have you seen all the things that he's so prodigious?
Ever seen the movie?
It's crazy.
It?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, he's done it all.
But like a guy who I loved growing up was Jack Kerouac. Like I think a lot of people did. And then you read any of his later works. You're like, this is shit,
terrible, right?
Total shit.
Terrible.
And you realize like they just the Dharma.
And even
that one's one of the good ones. Like then they get
even
real
on
bad.
the road was for its time.
Yeah. I remember my dad saying to me when I was a kid, I just loved On the Road, and I was like creative writing major. I was like, I'm going to write a great novel. I wrote a novel in college. I'm like, it's going to be like, my dad would be like, he's just drunk, drunk.
Yeah.
And then, and as an adult, I've been sober for about 4 years now, and I remember reading, I'm like, he's drunk. These are all deep thoughts when you're drunk.
What else you guys got?
What?
No more Kratom, Chin.
Wait, I have to end it on this.
Oh,
though.
This is the last
going
one.
deeper.
So
It's going
the
deeper.
mother. No, listen.
Did you just buy a lot of
Kratom?
stock in Kratom?
Let Chin defend.
Let me finish. So this particular article
Start
says
selling your own Kratom.
the
Chin.
mother might not have been taking Kratom at all, said the doctor or associate professor at Harvard Medical School. It was something that the husband said she was using. So all these stories, you have to make sure you read it all the way through.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Can I say, there's so many things in pregnancy you can... There's just too much fear around pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone crazy about pregnancy. There's like too much like pregnant mom shaming.
Yes.
Like I know women who are pediatricians who will have a glass of wine and like
For sure.
Like it's just crazy.
I know moms who eat sushi too. If it's from a good spot, because you have to worry about the bad sushi.
Yeah, no.
Japanese, Koreans eat the fuck out of sushi.
Right, like you have like 3 generations ago. What the hell were our
They were smoking.
They were doing all this crazy
Yeah,
shit.
Tony's
Like,
mom drinking, smoking.
I know.
Sure, his nose is huge, but he looks fine.
All smoking. My mother will tell you, Bill, can I smoke in your house? And my mother will be like, yes. In fact, I prefer it. I think it's all bullshit. Go ahead and smoke.
Yeah.
I grew up overseas.
But
I grew up all over the world, in Europe, and
yeah, but secondhand smoke's real.
People
They're eating
smoke
those
their ass off, and people
cheeses.
seem to be fine.
They're eating those cheeses.
Yeah.
Like
Tobacco's not good for you. Let's not.
no,
get
for
carried
sure,
away,
for sure.
A little of anything is going to be.
Yeah.
One last fun one.
Yeah.
Sure, man.
All right, it's about Kratom. Here you go. Just kidding. Midterm
Kratom's on
elections.
sale today, actually. Chin.com.
So Pornhub does these like statistics insights, and on midterm elections day, it was a funny one. It was up.
Can we say where we got this? A guy who runs a
Pornhub.
big part of Pornhub emailed me and said, Shab, you guys would dig this. Use this on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Check out these statistics.
I just bought the name of a porn company that I'm trying to launch.
Really?
Yeah.
You're trying to launch your own porn site?
Well, a friend of mine, a friend of hers actually used to doctor, and now he's a friend of mine, was like, you know what's always been the greatest name for a website that no one's bought? RaunchyTomatoes.com. Like Rotten Tomatoes, but Raunchy Tomatoes.
And
I was
just
like,
review
that's
porn.
Hold up,
genius.
before you go on, we might have to edit. Do you already own this
I bought
name?
it.
Oh, cool.
You're good?
Yeah, I bought
Okay.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Because I was going to say, people are like this right
No,
now.
no, no. I want people because I want someone to buy it off me. Because I was like, I bought it for $18. And I was like, see, I'm just going to launch my own porn site with this. So I did like a day's worth of research. I already felt so horrific and disgusting. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not going
But
to
he
go
owns it now. He's sitting on
Raunchy
it.
Tomatoes is good.
It's good,
know, it's
right?
good. It's good.
And so my friend goes, all right, if you buy it though, because he didn't want his name associated, he goes, you got to give me 10%.
That's
So I waited
hilarious.
like 2 weeks and I emailed him. Just got an offer for $85,000.
And
Within
he's
a
killed.
minute and a half, his
No.
phone,
No.
my phone rings. He goes, dude, we got to talk. No, we got to talk. I'm like, what world do you think my initial offer was $85,000? Like, this guy's the worst negotiator of all time.
What were these stats, though, Chin?
So the morning of, which is weird, the early morning, around like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it jumped up 20%. And by the time the elections were on TV, it started dropping down.
stopped.
So people got it out early.
It said who they were looking at? Stormy Daniels, right?
I didn't see anything.
Oh, it
about
doesn't
Stormy
say anything
Daniels,
about
no.
who they were checking out?
Wait,
Just
so
the
they were
traffic.
saying there was
Just
way more
traffic on the
traffic
site.
on the day of midterms?
Yeah. So around 4 or 5 a.m. of that day.
So like all those paper ballots were a little sticky. Like, it's kind of
Yes, exactly. Paper ballots were sticky.
I thought it was a good jerk off
very
joke.
good.
I thought it was a solid joke.
Thank you.
Very good jerk off. I missed it for a second. Then I had to stop and come back to it.
It's like when they were recounting the Florida elections was all the jerking off that happened that morning.
It's women who had the
You're
biggest
doubling
traffic.
down on it.
Thank
So
you.
women increased by nearly 21% on election day.
Women.
Wow.
Women looking at porn.
What type of
21%.
porn do you think it was? Like violent, like doing violent things to men porn.
We just talked about this on
Because
our podcast. What the somebody called in and said, "Why is all porn anal these days?" And we looked at
if it's
what
not
porn
true,
are you watching?
It's
Yeah,
not
this is what we
true.
said. We're like, why is this guy say it? And we looked at the most common things that people search for, and it's pretty weird. The number 4 thing out of all the topics is hentai, which is Japanese animated porn.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's beyond.
That does nothing for me.
That's beyond like fucking big butts, tits. It's like cartoon sex, like that. It gets dark
Nerd
in the
alert.
porn world.
Yeah.
Nerd alert.
But there's a billion wicked thoughts where they look at all the Pornhub's server and what the most is and what the least is. Pretty cool.
You ever get one that comes up and you're like, God damn.
Yeah,
People
chicks with
are-
dicks.
Yeah, but like even beyond, like that's some vanilla shit.
Not
Beyond
really.
that.
I'm like, what the fuck?
But it gets
it's
so
like
mu-
videos you might like.
fart breathers and shit. Like guys who just like really want to just get their face in there and just like inhale a fart.
You
Like
get in a plastic tube.
oh yeah, it's real deal shit.
I mean, the only thing that really like is just the amount of like incest porn there is. It's like
lot of
just
incest porn.
so much.
Those are just titles.
Like,
Don't let it throw you for your loop. Like one, it was like stepmom fucks son. I'm like, come on.
those are real.
like-
Those are real. All right.
It's
And I
real to
also
me.
believe in WWE wrestling.
real to me.
It's real.
No, well, mom, a
She has a
derivative.
caring mother.
Sometimes I'll be like, that's not a real mom, son. You know, click on
A
it.
derivative of mom, like mom, MILF, whatever. That's I think the third most searched.
Like
yeah,
step
there's
sis.
just like something about
the
that. I'm like,
step sis.
oh,
I'm
like,
God damn it.
Mommy.
Call it something else. I'd click on it.
But there was a-
That's it,
Jim?
man. That's it.
That's good, man.
All right.
Kids.
How happy about your
Cool.
Kratom?
Doctor, what's your last name?
Winter.
Dr.
Dr.
Winter.
Winter. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
Where can
Thank
they
you.
find you?
Oh, yeah, they can find me. Let's see. My Instagram is at Ashley G. Winter.
You want to
my
change to Dr.
Twitter.
Where's your
Winter?
practice? It's in Portland?
I'm in Portland.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. You live in Portland.
I live in Portland. Yeah, we commute to each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
we're trying to work that out right
full
now.
release.
The full release. thefullreleasepod.com or the full release pod on Instagram, and we do
full
episodes every
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Yeah, on
the full
iTunes,
release and
everywhere,
all that.
obviously.
And then I'll be performing at the House of Comedy in Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. 5 shows, Friday through Sunday.
That's Rick Bronson's club.
Rick
Tell Rick
Bronson.
Isaiah, Rick and Tam.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
Excited. I was just
Tell him I
texting
say
them
what's
today.
up.
He's a good dude, man.
I got an hour special on Amazon too. If anyone's interested, called not the full release. It's called Negative Reinforcement. Yeah.
Negative reinforcement.
Nice, man. Thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
guys,
so much
man.
for having us.
All right, guys. That's the Fountain Kid. We're out.
Yeah.